Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in. The show starts right now.
¿Cómo están, bitches? We are live, and it is Super Bowl fucking weekend. I'm Mike. This is Evo, and I am pumped. It's been a long, long year of football, and we finally are getting down to the end, the culmination. One team I expected to be there. One team I absolutely did not think had a
Vegas
chance.
odds makers did not think.
No, at all. And we have a fantastic show today. We are going to talk a little bit about the NBA, a little bit about Major League Baseball. We're going to get into some NFL honor stuff, and then we're going to start breaking down this Super Bowl 56 game. We got tons of prop bets for the people, but that's not the only thing that we have for everybody. We are going to do our first giveaway on the Lineman Lounge. We have a $56 gift card that we are going to kind of raffle off towards the end of the show. And we can go ahead and toss the ticker up there. And this is how we do it, guys. So if you guys want to enter in the Lineman Lounge 56 giveaway, like, subscribe, follow, and comment hashtag Lineman Lounge 56 during the show. We're going to keep track of everybody who kind of comments, follow, and we'll check on the follow, likes, and subscribes, all that stuff. We'll put your names into a little drawing. At the end, we will pull the winner and see who's going home with $56. Maybe they could put that on FanDuel and bet along with some of the props we got for them later.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this is for everyone watching. I know that we've got our stream going out onto a couple different platforms. Make sure to head to the YouTube. And on the YouTube, subscribe to that channel on YouTube, like the video, the specific video that you're watching this live stream, and then comment while the live show is going on with that hashtag Lineman Lounge 56, all one word. Make sure to put that in the comments. If you have a YouTube handle that is just like YouTube user or something like that, we don't know who it is. Doesn't matter. We're going to write down the specific name of whatever your profile is as the show is going on. We're going to get that written down. And then at the end of the show, we're going to tear off all those names, put it into a bowl, just pull out a name out of there. And we will make sure to contact you via YouTube or however, direct message in order to say, hey, you're a winner. How would you like to receive this gift card? And then like Mike said, you can use that $56 for the 56 Super Bowl, however you want to. But if you want to bet along with us or something like that, we had originally thought about doing like a FanDuel or DraftKings or something like that gift card to one of those agencies. It's a little bit difficult to get a
they don't make well. So DraftKings has one. FanDuel does not. Caesars does not. I haven't seen any of the other ones that do it. Just DraftKings, but neither one of us use DraftKings. So we decided to stay away from that. Just go with the Visa card that you can use and put it on one of those sports betting applications, and then you could use it that way as well.
Yep. Or if you win, it's your money on us. So if you want to take that and put it towards some Super Bowl snacks for tomorrow, a couple of beers or something like that, some drinky poos. Do whatever you feel is necessary with that $56. We know we're a fairly small channel.
Yeah.
So we can't be giving away like $5,600, something like that yet.
No, we're working on getting there, but it's going to take some time.
Yeah. So it's just a little thank you from us to you, the viewer, for watching, checking us out, being along the trip with us through this whole NFL season, and for the length of the show, how long the show's been going on. We talked a little bit about that last week with the local reporter
we did
from Cool FM. So, Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, watching along, being a part of this journey with us. But with that, we're going to leave this ticker up at the bottom of the show. So if you tune in at any point in time, we'll continue kind of, boosting that. Hey, check the ticker for a chance to win this $56. And we're going to, get on with the show and just looking forward to see who gets to take home that $56 hairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and I don't have it down here. We want that like, subscribe, and follow on the YouTube. Now, if you are on the Facebook or the Twitter and you don't have a profile on YouTube, I think we'll accept the Facebook or the Twitter as well. But Twitter is really where we not Twitter, Jesus Christ. YouTube is really where we want that. We're trying to get to that 100 subscribers. As soon as we get to that 100 subscribers, we're no longer youtube.com/fuck tons of the alphabet. We become, Lineman Lounge / or youtube.com/the Lineman Lounge, which makes us easier to find.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let's get into some fucking sports talk.
Hell yeah. All right. So we're going to start in the NBA. This is the area where we don't have as much to talk about as some of the other places. But there was some big news in the NBA this weekend. Trade deadline passed, and there was a massive, massive trade. Ben Simmons is going out to the Nets. James Harden coming back to the Sixers. And in my opinion, this is a great trade for both teams. Now, I do feel like the Nets got maybe a little bit more than that they should have, because the Sixers gave up Ben Simmons, who, when he's playing, is an all-star, a couple other small pieces, one of the Curry brothers, and then they also gave up 2 first-round picks for a guy in James Harden, who is very talented. Has he won an MVP? I don't know. I don't remember if he has. Oh, he did win one MVP, but has never won a title. So that's a lot to give up for a guy who is supremely talented, but has never led a team to a title when they're trying to bring a title back to Philly. Any takes on that? Like the way it all went down?
I just think that Harden, had gotten kind of tired of the strip clubs that are out there in Brooklyn, and he's looking for a little bit of a change. So I don't know if this is going to be extremely impactful for the rest of the season, but it's a big trade, definitely. But we'll see how it ends up working out overall, adjusting the NBA landscape. I'm just kind of surprised that the Lakers didn't, make any crazy moves, because they just kind of suck.
They're fucking terrible. I don't think anybody wanted Russell Westbrook, so that's why they kind of held pat. And they're not going anywhere this year. They're not going to be a title contender. However, my Cavs are definitely going to be title contenders, it looks like. They went out and made another big trade in Chris LeVert. Now, not nearly a big name guy like James Harden, but as a Cavs fan, I noticed that, and I was very pumped. That Cleveland team is so fucking good. They're so good, and they have a chance to come out of the East there, which is also incredibly surprising, and nobody picked that, especially the sports books in Vegas. But that's going to kind of be a theme of the day. On Vegas maybe not getting it always right. Maybe we can take some money from them today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I'm just sending out messages, making sure people get in here. Everybody should hopefully know that we are live. All right. Do we have anything else on the NBA we wanted to get into?
I mean, I'm good to move on if you're ready.
I'm ready, man. So we want to get into Major League Baseball next. So we did have the one storyline. I don't know if you want to kind of start us off with the Giambi news.
Yeah. One of the Giambi brothers has died. He died a couple days ago. Jeremy Giambi. He's the brother of now I'm going to forget the other Giambi.
Jeremy.
Jason Giambi. Jeremy Giambi. He played a little bit for the Athletics, I believe.
Yep. They both ended up playing for the A's for a little while.
But he died, and it's come out that he has died by suicide. 47 years old. Kind of a bigger name in the MLB, especially back when I was watching a lot more. I remember the Giambi names a lot more. So that was pretty sad to see that he had passed away.
Yeah, anytime that we lose a relatively young person to suicide, it is an absolute tragedy. We've talked about mental health on the show on numerous occasions, where if you feel like you need help, absolutely go out and seek it. Hello, Torres. Love you. I have a whole cooler full of beer ready for you.
See, you shouldn't have said that.
I knew it was coming today. Sexy Taurus shotguns are back after a couple week hiatus.
Absolutely. But if you tell me you got a whole cooler, you might be getting fucking Ripper Magooed by the end of this thing.
Hey, listen, I got nothing else to do. I've already started my day. We took care of business this morning. Once again, I mean, we typically like to talk about some youth stuff. We'll get into the youth just after the baseball. But the Giambi news is incredibly sad. There's another kind of a sad storyline going on right now. The Tyler Skaggs, I don't know who Facebook user is. That might be Joe Rockstar, because he's an Oakland guy. So, so the Tyler Skaggs case is going on right now, where they are trying to determine, the fault for Tyler Skaggs' overdose. Fentanyl was definitely a factor in his untimely passing, according to the autopsy. Another baseball player has been named in this case as a possible source for the drugs. And Harvey, I think it's Matt Harvey, I believe. But anytime like this stuff it's too prevalent. We talked about it when we talked about the Skaggs case, a while back, that there's a lot of times there are players who are trying to manage pain.
That was your mom.
That was my mom. Hi, Mom. And these guys are trying to manage pain because they got to make. And baseball's a long season, 162 games, so they will kind of go to some outside sources. They will use some things that maybe they shouldn't be using. And then in this case, it ended up in the loss of Tyler Skaggs. So I hope they figure out exactly who was behind this, so we're not continuing to push, opioids out into the public, even though I don't necessarily want to say this, but the CDC is apparently trying to soften their stance on opioids and allow. Yeah, I fucking read it the other day and I was instantly annoyed. But I mean, the CDC said that it, if a CDC says it, fuck, then apparently it's absolutely 100% true. It's always right, and they could never be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there. Love the CDC. Baseball still, though, doesn't look like it's going to start on time. The fucking moron who runs that league, Rob Manfred, says he is optimistic, and it could be disastrous for Major League Baseball if he's wrong. Yeah, no shit. Rob, I fucking said this last week. This is not okay. Baseball cannot miss time. He's optimistic. I don't know what makes him. I don't know what makes him optimistic at this point. They've given very little concessions.
Say that to continue boosting his position, but look, I've been seeing it all over Twitter, all over social media, of people starting their bets of when does baseball actually start, and I can tell you that none of them are on time.
Yeah, it's not opening day. It's probably going to be about a month in. There's probably going to be a ramp up period. Okay, I can have a beer ready in a few seconds for you, Torres. But yeah, it's going to be late. It's going to be detrimental to baseball. But there was an interesting baseball thing I did see. Right now, they're not testing for steroids.
Correct.
Because they are not in a collectively bargained agreement that says that they are allowed to test these players. Now, I'm not saying go get juiced up. However, if baseball misses some time, they're going to have something that pulls people back in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that happened in the late 90s where dudes are just hitting fucking bombs.
Now, is this supposed to be a continued throughout the season? The baseball is just no longer testing for steroids, or just because the CBA?
So just because the CBA is over. Now, once it comes back in, they can resume the testing. But is anybody confident that this is going to start anywhere near on time, or is it going to be pushed back, I don't know, several months and possibly be out of your system by then?
So the taking of steroids, obviously, when it's going to be in a sport where you're getting tested, it's risky business.
Absolutely.
It's going to be risky business regardless for the player health and whether or not you could get tested and popped. But obviously, this is going to provide players an opportunity to be taking substances that could help in their recovery or their performance. Now, when the season starts, obviously they would have to stop, and they're going to have to fucking have a pretty good idea when the season is going to start in order to stop and work themselves off this stuff, so that way they're not going to pop out on a test. And then from there, you end up having generally pretty diminishing returns fairly quick. So we could see maybe a lights out fucking
First
beginning
month of
baseball, and then some diminishing returns after that.
I think that it's going to wear off anyways after the initial pop. I think there's going to be an initial pop for baseball. It's like, okay, finally it's fucking on, it's back. And then we're going to see it start to dwindle. There's going to be teams who are going to be fucking terrible. Like, well, you guys held out so I could watch a team that sucks. Like, if I'm a Pirates fan, that's probably what I'm going to think. I don't know how the Guardians are going to be. There's a bunch of dudes who are still on the street who I would love to try to go and pick up in free agency or make a trade for, but we fucking can't because all the rich assholes who run the league are basically locking the players out because they won't give in any concessions. They are starting to apparently make a couple where they're trying to tweak the tax rules and hopefully bump up the minimum salary, but that's never been the problem. The players just don't want their service time manipulated. That's one of the big things where you can call up a guy, in June, and now he can play for the rest of the year on your team, but he's still not on his rookie deal because of how you called him up and when you called him up. So they're getting locked in position for longer because the rich assholes who run the league are being manipulative fuckfaces. Who would have guessed?
Not me.
No, no. But baseball needs to figure it out. Hopefully we can get some good news out of baseball because everything coming out of baseball right now has been kind of negative.
If the league starts on time or close to time, it would be a big surprise to me. I think it would be a big surprise to most the way things are going.
Yeah, I do not see it happening at all, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. Rob Manfred has never done that for me though, so I don't think that's in the cards.
We're not hopeful.
No. Listen, I can dream, but I'm also not going to be naive.
Absolutely.
All right, man. So that's baseball stuff. We ready to hop over into NFL honors, kind of start working our way into football?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, you know what? Before we do that, wanted to talk a little bit about the youth stuff this morning. So coach the Rams again this morning, our 10U Rams. First game that we had this morning, 10 o'clock. Really, really good game. We are down at half. First time we've actually really been in a game so far this year. Battle back second half, came through with a dub 34-26. Won by 8 points there. But I did not get to be there for the second game. We had two games today. Second game started at noon, but Graydon had baseball tryouts for Little League also at noon, or what we thought was noon, pushed back to 12:30. So we did not get to participate in game two, and we suffered our first loss. Kids were apparently pretty flat from what I'm hearing from our head coach. Listen, when your offensive genius is just not there, you're going to have a letdown sometimes. But
we got a young McVay here.
Hey, listen, I try. I mean, coach on the other sideline today was very unhappy with some of my play calls. He was just kept screaming, "That's all they got. That's all they got." Because my entire offense is based off of misdirection because, well, they're fucking 9 and 10 years old. So it's going to work.
Yeah.
And then we also have a kid who has the ability to throw bombs and a kid who can go out there and absolutely moss some kids. So that's Jason Dom, our quarterback and wide receiver. So yeah, that was fun. We beat the Wolverines, who are also here in Sierra Vista, but they play in the Tucson League. Anytime we can beat the Wolverines makes me very, very happy. But I was a little disappointed to hear that we lost the second game, but hopefully that kind of picks everybody up, says, hey, listen, we can't coast through these games. We had a tough game this morning. We need to stay on top of our shit and keep pushing, because we're definitely going for our city title here, and then we'll see if we can go up and get in some tournaments and do some damage there.
Awesome. So with that, I don't have any youth sports going on because I'm not a part of any right now. Mm-hmm. But that leads us into the NFL, and we had the NFL honor ceremony. We had a bunch of stuff going on, over the weekend, whether, Pro Bowl skills competition, which we talked a little bit about last week.
Right.
The Pro Bowl itself, which was just a joke as usual.
Yeah, utter dog shit.
We had Senior Bowl, and which we were watching last time during the stream, and then we had the NFL honors ceremony.
Yeah, NFL honors. So I'm not a big award show person, but this is the one that I will watch. Right. Looks like we have our first call coming in. We're going to get into NFL honors, but I'm going to take this call because it is from Torres.
Farva is number 1.
To accept, press 1.
All right.
Voicemail, press 2.
Torres, you are on with the Lineman Lounge. How we doing, big guy?
Doing good, doing good. I heard NFL and I was like, all right, that's my cue. Call in. And then I muted the videos. I don't know what you said. You guys are like looking at the phone, saying stuff, and then you answered. So
yeah, I mean we're pushing out the podcast, looking at different stuff. We were just getting ready to get into the NFL honors. Did you watch the show?
Okay,
any takes on that?
I did not. All I got was the notifications from, hey, this guy made it. Hey, this guy did this. Hey, this guy got that. But I didn't actually watch it.
Okay. All right. So did we call in for shotguns, or you just heard NFL like, fuck it, I'm calling these guys right now?
Both.
All right. So
absolutely both.
Are you telling me that we're doing Sexy Torres shotguns? Because it's on the screen right now.
Sexy Torres shotguns. Let's do this.
All right. Give me a second.
Now, for the viewers that are watching now or sometime in the future, our boy Torres likes to call in and make Mike shotgun some beers. So that's why we have our Sexy Torres shotgun hour in order for Torres to make our boy Mike here a little bit more drunk.
And he still has never beaten
There
me.
you go. Oh, no, yeah, I fucking suck at this. I just used, I believe it's my daughter's scissors, Fiskars non-stick. He cracked this open, so parent of the year here. Absolutely.
You got
Nice.
Safety scissors you're opening your beer with?
That's the way.
all I had.
That's the way of a parent right there. Whip out the daughter's safety scissors to pop that beer open.
All right. Torres, are you ready to lose?
I believe so. I don't think I see. Yeah, I see you, but yeah, sure. Let's do this.
All right, you count it down this time.
All right, sounds good. Ready? 1, go.
And Mike's done.
Damn it! So close this time.
Damn it.
I always enjoy Sexy Torres shotguns. I figured I was going to have to get one in very early into the show. I almost knew it was coming.
As soon as you text me, I was like, I need to go with beer.
Yeah, I figured.
But no, so NFL honors, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't want to derail your show. So as soon as you get into Super Bowl, I will give you a call right back.
All right, sounds good. It's going to be a little bit. We're going to be kind of talking about the game, some different position groups, and bets along the way. So have your FanDuel open and ready to go.
Yep. And also for Torres or anyone else is watching, we got the ticker going up at the bottom of the screen for our giveaway today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment #LinemanLounge56 during our show today on the YouTube channel. That'll allow you access to possibly win a $56 gift card, Visa gift card that you can use towards betting or whatever else you want to use it towards. So make sure to like this video, this actual live video, comment on the video, #LinemanLounge56 for the 56th Super Bowl, and subscribe to our channel for a chance to win. We'll be announcing that at the end of the show.
All right, Torres, we are going to let you go. We're going to go dive into the NFL honors. We'll hear from you in a bit.
Sounds good, brother.
Sweet. All right, I knew that was coming. Because why would it not? All right, so let's go dive right in. Let's start kind of with some of the smaller ones. So we got the AP Assistant Coach of the Year. That went to Dan Quinn of the Cowboys. That Cowboys defense was drastically improved from what we had seen throughout the last couple of years. So I figured it would. I mean, I like this pick. I could have maybe seen offensive guys getting this, but how bad that fucking Cowboys defensive unit was, I'm good with this. This pick makes sense to me. What are your thoughts on the Dan Quinn stuff there?
Yeah, Dan Quinn, like this defense was explosive. It actually kept the Cowboys in the hunt, I think, a lot of this year. I mean, you can say what you want about Trevon Diggs. He kind of did a shitty job of being a cornerback as far as defending passes.
Correct.
Until it came to interceptions. I mean, guy was crazy with the turnovers, and there's a huge swing when you're able to create those turnovers. But we actually, I thought that there was going to be a dip in this defense this year. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were last year, and they weren't that great last year, but they performed really well. When the offense struggled, the defense still played pretty damn well. I absolutely think that they did a fantastic job, and you can make an argument for a lot of other coaches, whether it's like Leslie Frazier with the Bills having, like the best defense in the league and stuff like that. But Quinn did a great job this year. He did a really good job. So I got no problem with it.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I think one of the reasons that this defense didn't have a dip is the next award we're going to talk about. But Torres, I got your Lineman Lounge 56. I got you here. Going in the bowl. We're going to draw out of this bowl at the end. You only get one entry. So if you hop in, guys, just toss in your Lineman Lounge 56.
If you are, like we said, we want you to like, subscribe, and comment on this YouTube video. If you are unable to and you are commenting on the Facebook or something like that, sometimes it pops you up as a Facebook user. Just make sure to throw your name in there as well with it. It'll make it a little bit easier for us because we can monitor only so much on the channel as it's going right now. Make sure to throw that name in there in your comment just in case it's popping up as a Facebook user. It'll make it easier for us. And we will verify that you are actually subscribed to the channel and stuff like that later on.
I'm absolutely going to verify it because I want to give this away to somebody who, is out there supporting the show, not just hopping in. Somebody random on Twitter sees and says, oh, look, a giveaway. Let me go ahead and just do whatever they're asking. Absolutely. I'm going to want that subscription. Faux show. All right. But so next award we're going to talk about is AP Defensive Rookie of the Year, and this was an absolute runaway. I didn't think there was a chance that anybody else had a chance at this, and that's Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. Micah Parsons was easily the Defensive Rookie of the Year for that Cowboys defense. He fucking balled out. He had more of an impact than any rookie defender, maybe in history, outside of Lawrence Taylor. He does it all. 3-down linebacker from 3 different fucking positions. He can put his hand
in the dirt. He can play the line. He can play linebacker. He can be the stand-up end. He can be playing on any one of those players that's out there. He's defending running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. The guy was electric. He was such a huge spark. I mean, I loved him coming out in the draft. I thought he was by far and away one of the best defensive players in the draft. So I was really excited to see where he went. And I believe we even in our draft talk, in the draft show, talked about him possibly going to the Cowboys.
We did.
And it was a great fit for them. He's the type of player that they like to have on that team. Electric, amped up dude, great personality, and most importantly, just a phenomenal fucking player.
He's so fucking good. I was not real high on Micah. I thought he would be good. I didn't think he'd be this good. I wasn't sure he's going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. He showed me things that I did not know he could do. He was so fucking good.
Very early on in the year, I want to say within like the first 5 weeks, I said that this guy's going to. It might have even been in the preseason. I think I said that I think this guy's going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Well, he was in that first preseason game they had. He was in there for 12 plays, made 5 goddamn tackles. Mm-hmm. It was just all over the field.
Yeah.
So he showed it early on. He continued. I hope he continues at this pace. Now, I don't root for the Cowboys, but when you have a guy who's this goddamn good, I want to see him be awesome.
Yep.
Got to win the money. We'll help buy a new 49ers quarterback jersey. Lineman Lounge 56. So we got Joe Rockstar.
A new 49ers quarterback jersey. I guess that means that he wants to get a Trey Lance jersey, huh?
So you would think that, but apparently Montana said, keep Jimmy because Trey ain't the guy. He ain't ready.
I don't see that happening.
It's not going to happen, but is Trey the guy? Is Trey ready?
No,
Not even close.
no. Look, we can see monumental jumps in quarterbacks from year 1 to year 2, especially if they're sitting for most of the year, sitting behind a guy being trained up. Lance is even a little bit further behind because he didn't play that last year in college.
Right. That puts him way behind.
Yeah, but he's going to be their quarterback going forward. Jimmy's going to get traded. There's multiple teams that are going to be interested in him. Jimmy's already had the conversations with the front office about where he wants to go, situations that he would like to go to. At the end of the day, he understands the business. And Trey Lance has a bunch of physical traits that you would love to see develop into good quarterback play. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. And I think we're gonna see a better version of Trey Lance than we saw this year, but that's not saying a ton.
Yeah, because I mean the things that we did see, it was a lot of just him running and then throwing bombs.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to really improve in the short to intermediate game. Now he's already used a year. I mean, I like Bosa. That was a 2-man race in my mind. It was Burrow and Dak. We're gonna get to that one in a little bit though. But Trey kind of reminds me of a guy that we see coming out this year. Big arm and can run around a little bit, and Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Can those guys take that next step and put themselves in a position where they can throw those short intermediate routes, timing within the passing game? I like Malik Willis, but he needs to also improve on that. Yeah. So he is long in his throwing motion, and his feet don't mirror his eyes. That's some of the things that I saw as well. And that throws off the timing and the rhythm in that short to intermediate passing game. That's just why he struggled there. So he's going to be there for at least 2 years. He's going to start the next 2 years for sure. But then that takes him into his 4th year. They will decide if they're going to pick up that 5th-year option at that point, and then it could be they're moving on, they're drafting somebody else. But, I mean, the Trey Lance era is now starting.
Yeah. This isn't a situation like you had down in Arizona with the quarterback that I can't even think of his name off the top of my head right now, where they jettisoned him
Rosen.
Rosen.
He
After
was
a year
awful,
or two.
But they 1 year,
Rosen
and they
played.
could see, played all year.
Yeah. And with Lance, he was a guy that you knew needed time to develop before you can actually tell what you got. Now, this next year, Lance is going to be the guy. They'll probably bring in some competition or whatever, a veteran that hedges their bets a little bit. But
I don't
Lance
know.
is probably
I don't
going
think
to be
it's
the guy.
going to be competition. I think it will be
It'll be hedging that bet.
Somebody
so
who
Lance
can groom him.
Sure.
Like I could see a fucking Fitzmagic would be great in that position for him.
Yeah.
But maybe
it's not going to. Yeah, it's
but
going to be someone that is there to groom him, that teach him the ropes in the NFL, things like that. And then if Lance is just absolute dumpster fire, then they can have someone to revert back to.
Right.
But it won't be true competition necessarily.
Yeah, they're not going to bring in a Gardner because that's an actual competition.
But I think that they'll still run Lance this entire next year, and then we're going to start to be able to tell, hey, is this the answer or is it not? Do we think that he's developing in a trend that we can work with or not? But we did have a comment here about
all sorts of comments
from Torres. You guys need stickers so I can stick them on my Forerunner and tablet.
Well, hello. Look what showed up on my doorstep this morning. We got our official Lineman Lounge stickers. So if you love these beautiful faces and our logo, we can get you one of these stickers. You can stick it wherever you'd like. Your vehicle, snowboards, skateboards, on your ass.
You can even put it on your vibrator if you want. It'll probably wrap around the shaft a little bit.
I mean, they are a 4x4-inch sticker, so they're pretty goddamn big. I mean, we like it thick here. So
absolutely. But I mean, if you want a little Mike and Evo deep inside your life, you could stick it on the old vibrator.
Oh, there we go.
I'm just gonna stick it up next to the camera. It's probably gonna fuck everything up, but
it's gonna mess up the stuff a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did get some stickers in, guys. Those are going to be available. If you guys want one, just let us know. We're not selling them. We're giving them away because it's kind of promotion. We want to start doing more things for the fans. Torres, you're absolutely getting one. I figured Eva and I will split this stack. We'll give them out to some people and let them rep the show for us.
All right. So another comment here from Torres. It was a 6% seltzer apparently that he drank because seltzers, and now he's feeling goofy. Stupid Mike.
Listen, I don't feel bad at all. You set yourself up for that.
Yeah,
It doesn't
knew
matter
was
what
coming
you're
up.
drinking. Listen, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
All right, family.
Family.
We
Hashtag family.
We also had Joe Rockstar commenting Tom Brady, as in Tom Brady is the quarterback that he wants to come in. Now, if Tom Brady comes in, he's starting.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
But
it's not happening.
With the retirement, I think he stays retired this year. Maybe next year he gets the itch and comes back. I don't think Tom comes back this year. The only other situation I could see happening is, we'll say the Bucks, it's just not working out for Kyle Trask or whatever other quarterback that they end up running
They're
with there.
so fucked.
And they are able to pull Tom out of retirement for like half a year because they're like a middling average team, but they've got talent on it. And he thinks, I can go back and win another championship with these guys. That would be it. But
He's not. I don't think he's coming out of retirement. I don't think there's any chance of it. Now, I do think that we could see a return of a Bucks quarterback, but not Tom. I can see Jameis going back there. Jameis is not going to resign in.
I guess
New Orleans.
everything's on the table.
I mean, knows the system, has had some time to learn and groom himself. Now, I don't think Jameis goes there and is the starter. I think he goes in there as in a competition. But they got nobody else. Kyle Trask, from what I saw in the preseason, looked absolutely atrocious. Yeah. Now, he did get to be an understudy of Tom Brady, which is great. We've seen guys be understudies and have success, like a Jimmy G, like a Jacoby Brissett. But it's never real long sustained success. Now, Jimmy's had much more than anybody else has, but he's never reached that ultimate goal. I think Jameis he could have a chance to go back there. Or, a guy who I think would fit in really good with that culture and Bruce Arians is Gardner fucking Minshew.
Yeah. I mean, he would at least keep them competitive.
He would keep them competitive. They could fucking chop it up and have a couple of 4-finger glasses of whiskey. What? And just fucking go to town.
Absolutely. The mustache would be well liked down there. He already knows that Florida vibe. All right. And Dino Henson, thank you for loving the show. We got your name on the piece of paper going into the bucket for the $56 gift card drawing. And for everyone that might be tuning in here or there, we got the rules for our drawing today at the bottom of the show. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and pop in with a comment of hashtag Lineman Lounge 56 for a chance to win that $56 gift card for the 56 Super Bowl. And thank you, Dino. And Joe Rockstar, yes, stick it on your vibrator so you can feel us deep inside.
Yeah, I like how that was hashtag stick it on your vibrator.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like you know what? We haven't had anything trend.
It could probably stick on the fist.
It might go on the fist.
Fuck it.
We've never had anything trend on the show, but if we could get stick it on your vibrator to trend, I would feel very accomplished there.
I'll put it on the fist.
There we go.
Oh
my God.
That was harder than I expected it to be.
There was an audible smack there.
Oof.
That kind of looked like it hurt a little bit.
It's waking me up a little.
All right. So as we place the sticker on the fist, we are going to move into our next award. Okay, so the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year was Jamar Chase. I also kind of saw this as a runaway. Jamar had the greatest year for a rookie wide receiver ever. And that's saying a lot because we just had your boy, Jay Jettas. Nice. Oh, yeah, so that's a big boy. The fist and the sticker.
Absolutely.
Your boy, Jay Jettas, I thought had put up the greatest rookie wide receiver year that we may ever see. And then his buddy, Jamar, comes out and tops it.
The gritty's taking over, baby.
So the gritty it's fantastic. I was trying to get our kids to do the gritty in the end zone today. We were up substantially. We let them score late to get the game closer than the score was, or the score closer than the game was. And one of their kids did a backflip in the end zone. while
wow.
incredibly impressive and ultra athletic. I was like, if we score again on this possession, I better see every single one of you in the fucking end zone doing the gritty.
James Griffith, got you. Hashtag Lineman Lounge 56. You are in for the drawing. And shotgun beers only. Well, I mean, I'm having myself an adult beverage, a Mick Ultra Infusion Lime Prickly Pear Cactus, which is
Not a
just
sponsor.
refreshing.
Not a sponsor, but they could be.
But I'm not shotgunning that stuff, and I don't really plan on shotgunning today because I've got business to take care of this afternoon.
Ooh.
I mean, I got to make Super Bowl food snacks, so I got to go buy that. I'm working on turning my spare room into a
little studio,
little bit of a studio, so that way we have some flexibility, availability if we need to be
in different sides of the country,
co-located, things like that. So I'm going to be working on painting that room.
Very nice.
So I might get a crack at that this afternoon. We'll
no.
see.
And yeah, we're not just only shotgunning beers. If you'd like to just drink along with us, feel free, crack a beer, hang out. You could also call in. Now, we know Griffith, but I'm not sure he's been a big watcher of the show. So let's toss up the phone number if we can real quick.
Absolutely.
So, guys, if you do want to call in during the show, join in on the conversation, whatever topic we're talking about, or just to chop it up for a little bit, have a beer, you can call 520-338-9771. That will come to my phone, and we can get you on. All right. So, Jamar Chase. Jesus, I just smacked the shit out of the mic. Jamar Chase was fucking amazing this year. He is one of the main reasons that this Bengals team has made it to the Super Bowl. He is a matchup nightmare for everybody.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of talk from us, from any of the other pundits that you have out there during the draft this year about, there's the connection between Burrow and Jamar Chase and how big of an impact that could have. Obviously Jamar wants his guy there, but Burrow had his knee fucking blown out because of a horrible offensive line, right? And so you've got the lineman that ends up going to the Detroit Lions on the board, and they could go with him, and it seemed like the safe play was go with the lineman, protect your investment. And I was personally for the lineman. I mean, this is the Lineman Lounge. We understand how important line play is, but you can't deny the results that they got out of Jamar Chase and the Joe Burrow connection this year. You just can't deny it. And at the end of the day, I'll eat crow. It was a better pick for them. Their line played better this year than we expected. They did bring in some guys like Riley Reef and stuff like that to help bolster their line a little bit. But you did see where that line could be a detriment.
Yeah, they gave
Burrow
up
had
9 sacks.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
And they won.
Yeah.
But that's because they are explosive on offense. And this guy is the main catalyst behind that explosivity. That is the right word. I use that the right way, too. Fucking boom.
Apparently, Torres wants to make me puke and says sexy Torres shotguns for both hosts. So I'll say this. I've not puked from drinking since college. So we're looking at
puke free since like what, 07?
From drinking. Yeah, this is 07, 08 time frame. Doing a shotgun isn't going to make me puke, man. It's just not going to happen. But I just am trying to continue managing the show here rather than shotgunning. If I absolutely need to, I can do at least one for you, but I've got to be able to fucking drive out of here.
Yeah. We are co-located, so you do have to leave. Hangar 6 is actually located at my house. Maybe someday we'll have Hangar 6 where it's our own building, but we are not Pat McAfee or Barstable, so we are so fucking far away from that happening.
And I'm game with either of them puking. Shots anyone from Griffith.
All right, so this is we're starting to take a turn. Let's dive into some more of the NFL honors before we turn this into a drinking show. Jamar Chase was fantastic. That line is still a problem. We're going to talk about that specifically when we break down the Super Bowl, but he was amazing, and he absolutely deserved the award.
Yeah, phenomenal year for Jamar Chase. I don't want to say that I'm jealous because of Justin Jefferson connection with my Minnesota Vikings and everything last year. I'm happy for him. I still think that, Jefferson had a phenomenal year last year, and it was just situationally that offense so predicated on the big time passing game. And when you have a Burrow throwing the ball compared to a Kirk Cousins, obviously you're going to have more potential for some explosive plays and things like that. From
Yeah, I
Jamar
mean,
Chase.
Burrow's a fucking stud, and we're going to talk about that a little later as well. But getting into our AP Comeback Player of the Year, it was Joe Burrow.
Yes, sir.
I was surprised on this pick. So when I think of Comeback Player of the Year, obviously production is important, and I think that's what got Joe this award. But I believe the severity of the injury should also play a factor, and the guy he beat was Dak Prescott. I thought it was going to go to Dak because Dak was looking at the end of his career after what happened last year. That was a Theismann type, like he might be done injury, and came back, played at a really high level, and got the Cowboys into the playoffs.
Yeah, and so I can absolutely see it being 1A, 1B here. I'm cool with the Burrow pick because, you know, Burrow did obviously blow his fucking knee up, and then came back and had a phenomenal season. You know, he's one of the biggest quarterback names that we're going to be watching here for probably the next decade in the NFL. And Dak, while he is a extremely good quarterback, and he came back from a truly devastating injury to his ankle there, I think what it ends up coming down to is that Burrow was able to lead his team into the playoffs, now into the Super Bowl. And Dak Prescott, while he started off real hot, you know, they petered off towards the end of the year, and they only went so far in the playoffs. Statistically, Dak had a good year, but not a phenomenal year.
Yeah, Joe Burrow outstatted him for sure.
Yeah.
So you're placing more the onus on the, you know, the stats rather than the type of injury?
A little bit. I mean, obviously the type of injury has to play in a little bit, but I mean, it's not as big of a thing. If Dak came back and he was a bottom quarter of the league quarterback, yeah, he came back from a phenomenal, a horrible injury, but did he really perform that well? He did come back, yes, but they both were pretty bad injuries.
Yeah.
Obviously one could have been career
the
ending.
ACL is a very bad injury. I'm not trying to take anything. Burrow tore his knee up, but the ACL has become very much a manageable thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Vanilla Gorilla knows all about that. He tore his ACL, had to get some reconstructive surgery. It's not a small thing, but they're getting much, much better at it in the NFL. That's absolutely not. I mean, after we saw Adrian Peterson come back from 7 months and rush for 2,000 yards, I was like, okay, well, ACLs are not the career enders that they once were, because 10 years ago, Burrow's career might be over.
Yeah, absolutely. Burrow's career, he would have at least not been able to start the season. So him being able to come back from that is definitely a big deal. But and Prescott's injury, like I said, that probably would have been a career ender, and very well could have, even in this last year or so, could have been a career ender. But his performance towards the end of the year, I think, is what dropped him out of the running for, not out of the running. Obviously, he was in the running, but it wasn't the spectacular type of performance that you would like to see from someone winning that comeback player of the year. Right. Now, I could see the NFL having thought about splitting things up, you know, a little bit more, because Burrow is obviously going to be going to the Super Bowl. He's got a very big chance of being the Super Bowl MVP if they were to pull out a win. And so spreading around some of the honors a little bit that way actually makes, you know, some sense. But realistically, I like the Burrow pick. I could absolutely see Prescott winning it, but I think just the way that he and that team performed towards the end of the year is what ended up dropping him out.
Okay. Yep. So, I mean, I'm good with Burrow. I thought Dak was going to win just because the severity of the injury is really what popped in my mind, but I'm totally good with Burrow. Burrow balled out. Obviously, he's still fucking going. So
Joe Rockstar, again, the offensive bias, lol. It's hard to measure production from a guy who's getting double teamed and held on almost every play, but all you have to do is look at the rest of the defense. Now, Joe, that's not to say that Bosa didn't have a great year and that he didn't come back from injury, but you're talking about players like everyone comes back from injury every year.
Impact of coming back, I think. Now, Bosa really helps that defense out. That defense was very good, but this is the NFL. Like, I understand. Yeah, sure. Do we probably have an offensive bias? Yes, but that's what the game has turned into. Back in the day, would I have been touting the offenses as high? No, because defenses played more of a factor. They just don't anymore, and that's just the way of the game. The NFL has tailored the rules to be that way. So most of these awards are fucking quarterback awards. To see a offensive rookie be a wide receiver is fantastic. That's not normally the case. You'll get a running back. Most times you get a quarterback who performs pretty good.
Look, if
That's
one
just
of,
the
one, of,
way
if one
of-
of those rookie quarterbacks that came out this year had a lights out season, Jamar Chase would have severe competition. That's the reason why Justin Jefferson didn't get the award last year, because Herbert had a very, very, very good year.
Yeah. It's the most important position on the field. So they're going to be put up on this pedestal. Is it always right? No. But that's just the way the NFL goes.
Yeah. And like I said, as far as Bosa, ACL tears, not to say that they're nothing big. Obviously, Burrow was able to win with that ACL tear. But a lot of players end up having those ACL tears and stuff like that. Burrow's knee it didn't look like a normal ACL tear, to be fair. His leg got bent backwards. So it was a very severe one. Bosa definitely injured bad, and he had a very good year, and it's great that he was able to come back and be like he was for your team this year. Was the performance that much more outstanding than any other guys? I can't say that it was. And that's coming from a guy that fucking loves defense. I would love to see like a defensive MVP, a defensive player that's, comeback player of the year and stuff like that. But the injury was not, whereas like Dak Prescott's ankle injury, that was crazy to watch happen. Super scary, could have ended his career. Bosa's career was never in jeopardy. We knew that he was going to come back, and we knew that he was going to be Bosa. And he performed like Bosa and was extremely important to that defense this year. So it's not a knock on Bosa, but the way that these awards just play out is it's going to be the people who are able to put up those stats. And a lot of the stats for a defensive player are less definable, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I agree. They don't. Okay, I think an ACL on a defensive lineman is more important to him than it is on a quarterback. I don't know because was it his right leg or his left leg?
I'm not sure.
If it's his right leg, that's his plant leg, and that is vital to a quarterback. I don't know which leg it was. I don't fucking remember. No, I agree. You need to be explosive as a defensive player.
I think it is more difficult to come back from an ACL tear as a defensive lineman. I will agree with that for sure, but it's not to say that other players don't do that. Again, it's not trying to be a knock on Bosa, but it's just the way that these awards end up playing out is going to go towards someone who's able to put up big stats. And defensive players, unfortunately, the way that stats work is they can't put up the big stats.
Yeah. And Joe's been kind of getting on us a little bit about our offensive bias. It's the way the game is now. I love defense. Absolutely love it. But I mean, I'm an offensive coordinator for Flag. I coach offensive line. That's where my home is. That's what I know. So I do I have a bias? Yeah, sure.
I mean, the last time that again, I love defense, but as much as I love defense doesn't tend to win you championships anymore. It is a huge part, but you have rare outliers like the Ravens back in the day when they went with Trent Dilfer to the Super Bowl. You've got the Rex Grossman-led Bears, things like that. You have situations where defenses sometimes will allow a team to get in, but it's only because they have a lot of offensive talent with a meh quarterback and a really stellar defense. And it's a rarity. And to be fair, I feel like that is something that would have happened with the 49ers had they made it this year. You have a average quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo who can get the job done, but he's nothing necessarily spectacular. And then you have a lot of firepower on the offense otherwise and a very spectacular defense. We're not seeing that as much. That's the defensive stats don't pop as much. And the way that the league is gearing the NFL towards is offensive firepower, which I think is going to play a lot into this game.
This Super Bowl
tomorrow.
Coming up. Absolutely. All right. So now that we have kind of said that we love defense, we sent out a ton of invites for your page. So
thank you, Torrey Price.
Yeah, that is Torrey Price. Are you on the Facebook right now?
Yep.
So Torrey Price is my father-in-law. Really cool guy. Thanks a lot, Torrey. We call him Spanky. Yeah, good fucking dude. A lot of fun to have a couple drinks with. We wrecked a golf cart one time together. It was good dude, good times. All right. So now that we have kind of defended that, we do like defense. Let's get into that AP Defensive Player of the Year, and that goes to TJ Watt. I didn't think TJ was in this until the last couple weeks of the season, and he went fucking off. Ended up tying the NFL record for sacks, 22 and a half. That is an absurd number of sacks. And this guy missed 2 games.
Yeah.
He could have easily broken, maybe shattered the record.
Now, missing 2 games, but we had an extra game this year. So net 1 extra game in general. But that shouldn't really knock what TJ Watt did this year. He had a phenomenal season, and he really, really came on at the end of the year. He was an important part to that team.
Oh, absolutely. And that's 4 Defensive Player of the Years for that family now with JJ and TJ.
Mm-hmm.
TJ could win another one. He is definitely not towards the peak of his career. The only things that can derail him are injury, and I hope that doesn't happen. Even as a Browns fan, I'm not hoping for TJ to get injured.
Did throw out a parental discretion advice, though.
That's absolutely a good
because
call.
Sometimes we'll say fuck,
shit,
or
cock, balls,
penis. Sometimes that'll happen. No, we don't have Tourette's.
Nope. We were in the military though, which
Yep.
is why we speak the way that we do.
Yep, we actually are bilingual. We know English and bad English. It's comes with the part of being in the military.
Yeah.
It's a acquired skill.
But I'm good with TJ Watt, especially after the way he finished the year. I really wanted Myles Garrett to be in that running. He got 0 votes though, which I thought was very surprising that he got 0 votes, considering that he was absolutely dominant. He was top 3 in every statistical category you can be for a defensive end: pressures, sacks, and I believe what the hell's the other one? Pass rush win percentage. Top 3 in all. So I thought he would have got a couple of votes. Did not, but that Myles is going to know that nobody voted for him. He's going to come back very, very strong. Hopefully we have somebody on the other side of him still who can rush the passer. I'd love to see Jadeveon back. He was a very pleasant surprise. We'll see, though, because
Is he worth the money?
it depends on what he's asking. Will he take less money to play opposite of Myles Garrett and continue to put up this is one of his best statistical years ever.
Mm-hmm.
His 2 best statistical years, JJ Watt on the other side, Myles Garrett on the other side. He needs the guy on the opposite side of him to put up big numbers. I'd love to see him back. Hopefully he wants to come back. And if he doesn't want to come back, hopefully he's not telling people that you shouldn't come to Cleveland. Fuck you, OBJ.
Well, you can tell OBJ fuck you tomorrow. We'll watch him in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm going to. So speaking of OBJ, let's talk about his teammate, the AP Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. This kid balled out. There is no doubt in my mind that he deserves Offensive Player of the Year. Almost broke every receiving record there was.
Yeah, and again, we'll caveat it by saying there was an extra game this year. However, the production, even without that, was unprecedented.
1,900 yards.
Yeah, incredible year from a receiver. It's crazy to think about. You talk about your Jerry Rice's, Terrell Owens, Randy Mosses, things like that. Your best receivers ever in the league, and now you have to talk about at least this season with Cooper Kupp because he was rivaling and beating all of them, statistically at least. And a lot of that is that McVay scheme, that Kevin O'Connell scheme that's coming to Minnesota. They are able to scheme these guys open so well. There's so many playmakers on the offense that they are able to confuse the defense with a lot of pre-snap motion and get these guys in situations where linebackers are going to have to try to cover them. And that's why you're seeing Cooper Kupp not only get so many receptions, not only get so many yards, but getting so many rack yards.
Yeah, and he is very sorry. He's a hard worker, coach's son, sneaky athletic, all those things that we say about, white skill position players.
Yeah.
He is all of those things and more. Like, he's so goddamn good. I am very jealous of the Rams and what they have and what they can do on that offensive side of the ball. He absolutely deserved it. The only other guy I thought was going to compete for this position was Jonathan Taylor with what he did in Indy. Because this offensive player of the year typically goes to a guy who is a non-quarterback, because the MVP goes to a quarterback. And MVPs go to offensive players. Sorry, Joe Rockstar. That's just the way it is, unless you're fucking Lawrence Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about Cup getting this award. I think we all definitely saw this coming, especially towards the end of the year, when he was just breaking all these records and putting up, a prolific season like that. And lucky for us, we get to see more of it tomorrow.
So I'm so excited for tomorrow's game. All right, so we're going to move on to the AP Coach of the Year, which I thought was a very interesting pick. I did not agree with it. Mike Vrabel. Jesus Christ, I cannot speak today. That shotgun might be getting me already. Mike Vrabel of the Titans wins the AP Coach of the Year. I thought this was going to Zach Taylor for sure of the Cincinnati Bengals. That did not happen. Now, Vrabel had a very good team throughout most of the year, was able to coach those guys up when Derrick Henry goes down. But when you elevate a squad like the Bengals up to the Super Bowl, how is that not the Coach of the Year, in my opinion?
Yeah, that's to put that into perspective a little bit, and we alluded towards the beginning of the show about this. When Vegas made their odds at the beginning of the year of, odds to go to the Super Bowl, the Jets, Jaguars, and Bengals were all tied with the worst odds.
Yep.
And the Houston Texans were right behind them. For the Bengals to make it to the Super Bowl, he did a phenomenal job. Now, having a elite quarterback like Burrow makes that job a lot easier. But, there's, no question about it. This team way outperformed their expectation. A lot of that has to be given credit to the coach. I could absolutely see why Taylor should have been in the running there. Why Vrabel was in the running, I honestly don't know.
We knew they were good.
Yeah.
Is it because they lost Derrick Henry and they were still able to have the best record in the AFC?
I don't know.
It's
a tough argument for me to make. I mean, I'm sure I could make one, but he was a good coach, but I don't know that he was the Coach of the Year. Now, like we talked before the show, they should have just given this award to David Culley.
Just one last. Hey, by the way, you had the worst.
You might have gotten
fucking
fired,
roster.
and you had basically a team that was set up to fail this year, and you were still able to get 4 wins, and you were able to beat some teams that you shouldn't have beat. Give it to David Culley.
Yeah, that'd have been awesome. That'd have been hilarious.
Absolutely.
But I mean, so Vrabel's a great coach. I'm not trying to take anything away from Vrabel.
According to Torres, he's a douche.
I mean, he could be. He has done some douchey things in the past.
He's got a demeanor like that, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, good for Vrabel. But I would have went Zach Taylor here for sure. I mean, the Bengals are the surprise team. And I'm hoping that curse of, making it when you're not supposed to, and there's a drop back, because I do not want to contend with a really good Bengals team, a really good Ravens team, and a potentially really good Steelers team, depending on who they bring in at quarterback.
Absolutely. All right, what we got next, Mike?
Well, the big award, the one that I knew was coming, that people fucking hated. Twitter was in an absolute shitstorm. My co-host was furious. He would have preferred a tin can over this man. Fucking Aaron Rodgers is your AP most valuable player, and he damn well should have been. He was the best quarterback all year. This is a quarterback's award. That is what it has turned into. He was consistent all throughout the season. He had one bad performance in the playoffs, which is why they're not continuing on. But he was the guy all year. In my opinion, I didn't think the only person that could have even contended here was Tom Brady. I thought they might give it to Tom because of the controversy around Aaron. It's Tom's last year. He's retired, but they did the right thing, and they gave it to the guy who was the best player in the NFL this year in Aaron Rodgers. I'm eagerly awaiting. There you go.
Yep. That's my take. Rodgers is the douche. I fucking dislike the guy a lot. You're going to put up massive stats when you are the only, part of your offense that tends to work. They got a running game, but they lean on their passing game, and it is what it is. I could have gone a whole lot of different other ways. You've got Taylor at running back, Jamar Chase. I would have been cool with either of those. Josh Allen at quarterback, Cooper Kupp. I could have even made an argument for Burrow. But it is what it is. Whatever. Rodgers can get his little parting gift before he leaves the Packers, and goes and whines somewhere else.
So you were not able to watch the NFL honors. His acceptance speech sounded very much like a farewell, at least at a minimum to the Packers, possibly to the NFL. He was very thankful and appreciative of all the people, and they've had a great run. This, I think, is for sure the end of the Aaron Rodgers era in Green Bay, and it might be the end of the Aaron Rodgers era in the NFL. The way he was talking. This man has 4 MVPs. I'm sure he really appreciates those. I think he'd rather have more Super Bowls, but they have not been able to get it done. 49ers, to Joe Rockstar's and your liking, have smacked them in the playoffs. But he was the guy. You can be the MVP when you choke. It's a regular season award.
Yeah, the award looks at the breadth of the entire season, Torres. And while I am completely in agreement with you that he shouldn't have gotten that, but it's looking over the entirety of the season. So that's why he ended up getting it. So we've got a comment here on the Facebook. Is he coming to Denver from
Tori? Spanky?
Spanky?
Slappy.
Yeah,
Slappy.
I can't.
Spanky.
Spanky.
I think if he stays in the NFL, that is where he is going.
Yeah, there's obviously several different options out there. I think that chances of him getting traded or moved, I'll say chances of him not being on the Packers next year, I'm at about 80% sure. There's still a possibility to come back because he did, at the end of the season, stay in Green Bay for a couple of days to talk with management and ownership and stuff like that to see what they wanted to do. He's having, players come out like Aaron Jones saying, please stay with me, things like that, blah, blah, blah. There's definitely still a chance that he could run it back there, but it's just they have such a crazy cap situation, such a bad cap situation that they're going to have to gut the roster for him to stay there. And if they got the roster for him to stay there, then they're not going to be as competitive next year, and that's not what he wants. So Denver is probably number 1 on the list of likely landing spots. There's still Pittsburgh. If they were to trade him to the NFC or in the NFC, you could see a Buccaneers, I guess.
I don't know if they would do that.
That people are making those links to the Titans because big reason why the Titans did not advance in the playoffs this year is because of their quarterback situation.
I think the Titans said that they were out, possibly.
I don't know.
But I don't think anybody's out
I guess
on
he
Aaron
just
Rodgers.
sold a house in San Diego, bought a house in Nashville, Tennessee, so that people are trying to draw that connection. I don't think that matters because if he had a house in San Diego, he wasn't playing for the Chargers. So you can't just make those connections left and right, but people are going to do that. It's the offseason.
It's silly season.
Reckless speculation.
Yeah.
So I think we're 80% chance that he leaves the Packers, be through retirement or to another team. I think Denver is probably the top destination choice there. And then with a couple of those other ones I listed as options for him, there definitely could be a dark horse that ends up taking him. But if he's not on board with going to a team, like if they were to try to trade him to the Jets, obviously that's not going to happen because they have their rookie quarterback that they're going to be invested in, blah, 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 blah. But if you were to get traded or a trade offer set up to a team
going to the Jets.
that is not going to be competitive,
he's out.
He's just going to be like, I'm done.
Yeah, he's not. If it comes down, hey, we're going to trade you to the Jets or the Texans or any number of other dog shit teams. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go host Jeopardy.
Yep.
Like, because he has other options. Aaron's a smart guy. Yeah, I know. But he's going to go to a contender somewhere where he thinks he can win. Denver is the most likely option. Maybe Seattle. I don't know that the Packers would send him into Seattle if they decide that they are going to part ways with Russell Wilson. That's a
Arizona
long
for
shot.
another NFC team, because
Well,
apparently Kyler's dropped all of his Twitter handle, any linkage on Instagram, all that shit with the Cardinals, and apparently he's asking for $50 million a year.
Oh, well, that's
in an extension.
So so he's trying to. It sounds like Kyler's trying to force his way out. If that's really what he's asking, there might be some problems down here in Arizona with that team.
Here's Joe's pipe dream. Lance's QB1 backed up by Brady and Rodgers. Is this Madden?
Yeah. I'm going to give you a sixth round pick.
Joe's joking about that because he's way smarter.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a 6th round pick and a 62 overall for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going to go ahead and force trade. That would be wild, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just I think he's gone. I don't know if it's going to be retirement or somewhere else. I think Denver's the most likely spot, but I think the time's done for Aaron in Green Bay, which gives your Vikings a really, really good shot at winning that division.
Yep. And I've flip-flopped on my stance because I'm trying to make arguments for myself both ways to be comfortable if we move on Cousins or keep Cousins. I believe now, based on more recent comments, that we're going to be keeping Cousins for at least this next year, and that they're going to do something to work out his contract, probably extend him, but extend him where he could be moved in the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, if they convert a lot of that to signing bonus, the cap hit comes down. That's going to be pay out of the ownership office, out of the ownership's pocket, but they can convert it, excuse me, to a signing bonus, and they can bring that cap hit way down.
Yeah. Are there any other AP awards that you want to talk about?
So we did have the Walter Payton Man of the Year, Andrew Whitworth. That's kind of how the show capped off. Congratulations. That is, the NFL considers that their highest honor, even above MVP. That is for their work that they do inside the community, the things they do to, better the cities that they live in. Andrew Whitworth is a great guy. He gave a great speech. If you guys did not get a chance to see it, I highly recommend going back and watching
really
it.
Good dude. Andrew Whitworth, we've known since his time in the league the entire time. He's been a really good dude. Fucking old as fuck.
Oh, so old,
for a lineman to be playing. And still, yeah, really, really good. And Joe Rockstar, you can go fuck off with that Rodgers going to Minnesota. That's not happening. Not happening.
You don't want Favre 2.0?
Absolutely not. I didn't want Favre 1.0. I wanted, if we went to the Super Bowl and won that shit, I wanted an asterisk in the rule book or in the record book on that win. Didn't want it. And then why didn't I get a burp from Mike after that shotgun? I'm offended. Well, he's been steadily burping after.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn away because I don't want to be, gross on the mic.
Burping straight.
However, they are they do tend to get a little loud. Other news from the NFL honors: we did have the Hall of Fame class announced. We got Leroy Butler, Bryant Young, Sam Mills, Cliff Branch, Richard Seymour, Art McNally, Tony Baselli, and Dick Vermeil. Tony Baselli is the first Jaguar to go into the Hall of Fame. So I believe every no, I don't know if the Texans are represented in there yet. They will be when JJ retires. But we're starting to work towards every team having some sort of representative inside the Hall of Fame. And then we had some of those lesser ones. The FedEx Air Player of the Year went to Tom Brady, and the Ground Player of the Year was Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I mean, the Tom Brady one, I guess there's an argument there, but they have to give Tom
Tom is getting an award.
Yeah.
But there was no doubt in my mind.
And then Jonathan Taylor absolutely makes sense. I mean, I guess the only other argument I think that you can make there for ground player would be Debo, because as much as Debo's a receiver, the way that he ran the ball and was explosive running the ball this year, there could be an argument there. But I don't even want to say it's a ground player of the year. That's like a utility player of the year. Like he just does fucking everything. And then that also kind of leads me into talking about what you talked, the Hall of Fame inductees. Devin Hester. Didn't make it.
No.
I don't know why he wasn't a first ballot guy. And
So
it just kind of
it's
shows
tough
you
for returners.
Yeah, that's again, like Joe talked about before with offensive minded, blah blah blah, things like that. Which the league is offensive minded. Special teamers don't get the credit
They
they deserve, and Devin Hester, one of the greatest returners of all time, if not the greatest returner.
I think he probably is. Number 2, I'd say Josh Cribbs, but I'm also a little biased there.
A little biased there.
Yeah,
I mean, you could say Cordero Patterson has put up phenomenal numbers as well. I would say close to Cribbs numbers. Regardless, Hester should have fucking gone in. That's personally, I think
those special teams guys, they don't get the credit like that. I think there's 1 punter, maybe 2 kickers. There will, I think, potentially be a 3rd kicker in Vinatieri whenever he is up for going in. He should be first. I don't know if he will go first ballot though because he's special teams, but that guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen Jared Allen go in, but that again is me being biased. But I love Jared Allen. He is one of those guys that is tied for the sack record in the league. So would have loved to have seen that. Oh well.
And then that takes us to our last one, the play of the year. Talking about a special teamer. Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal to stick a dagger in the hearts of Lions fans everywhere. I mean, it was insane that he made that they were even able to get in position to give him a shot. It's exciting because it's a record, but there's more exciting plays in the NFL than a kick.
Yeah, and I feel like that was like one of those things like Tom Brady has to get an award. Well, we have to give a special teamer an award, so
Justin Tucker got that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so that is going to wrap it up for our NFL Honors Talk. Now, if you guys are in the chat, you've been watching along, we are doing a giveaway today. So if you guys want a chance to enter into the Lineman Lounge 56 giveaway, like, subscribe, follow, and comment hashtag Lineman Lounge 56 anytime during the show, and you will be entered in for the opportunity to win that $56 gift card that you can use on betting. You can buy some alcohol. You could take your lady out on a date. I mean, not anywhere real nice, but
Chipotle.
Hell yeah.
Extra guac.
Yeah. Double the meat.
And I did like Joe Rockstar's comment on this last one. Jared Allen will absolutely get in Culinary Academy. That's how he always, whenever he's on those live broadcasts and they're saying what school they're from, he says Culinary Academy. I love Jared Allen. He's fucking such a good character. He also, if you didn't know, was trying out for U.S. men's curling team.
Really?
Because a lot of the big, Olympics are going on right now. A lot of the big curlers actually come out of Minnesota. They've got training facilities and everything up there. And being that he was up in Minnesota, he got into curling, and it's one of those things that he does now. Now that he's not playing football anymore, is he got into curling and decided he wanted to try to be a professional curler.
Hell yeah. So there was a curling club up while I was in Alaska, like right down the road from us, and I never went. I really wish I would have. Felt like that's kind of in my wheelhouse of things that I could have done if I was going to be an Olympic athlete. Curling seems like, not too labor intensive. And I was still in the Army. I was still decently in shape, but now as a thick boy, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been dope.
And then we get Spanky.
Yep.
All right.
You're in there.
And we had another comment. Is that Spanky again?
Yep. And that's Jared Allen. He's going for sure. I'm
Yeah,
assuming, unless it's Devin Hester. Either of them, I think both of them should make it.
Yeah, both those guys are Hall of Famers in my mind.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
All right, man. So that's NFL honors. We hit the NBA, Major League Baseball. We ready to wrap it up?
Well, we got the last head coaches.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's right.
So we had a bunch of head coaching vacancies. We've talked about them over the past several weeks. The one head coaching vacancy that is not finalized right now is my Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell, because they are not allowed to sign him until his league year is over, which is tomorrow. So after tomorrow, he will be announced as the Vikings' new head coach, Kevin O'Connell. So I'm really looking forward to watching his offensive game plan. Not to get into a huge diatribe about it, but I have continued to learn more and more about Kevin O'Connell as the process has gone along, as knowing that he's coming to us as the head coach. It turns out that he apparently is building the playbook for the Rams. McVay calls the plays, but McVay obviously has a hand in that playbook. But it's O'Connell that's running the practices for offense. He's the one creating the playbook. He's the one on the sideline interacting with the players to find out what's working, what's not, and adjusting the playbook. And he's basically the one that is cooking the meal that McVay is eating. So he's, I don't want to say the mastermind behind this offense, but he is definitely building the structure foundation of this offense that McVay is putting into place. And McVay, not to take anything away from him, McVay is definitely, calling the plays, and he has his hand in that playbook. You see those tendencies from him, but O'Connell is playing a huge part of it. So I'm really excited to watch tomorrow's game, see how the offense decides to attack the Bengals, and look forward to having that on my team next year. But we're just going to run through the entire list here of our new head coaches for next year, and we'll talk about some of the ones that we have not talked about because they were announced this last week. So Dennis Allen, new one, he is taking over, was the defensive coordinator for the Saints, and now is moving up as the head coach for the Saints. You have Brian Daboll, New York Giants, Matt Eberflus for the Chicago Bears, Nathaniel Hackett for the Denver Broncos, Mike McDaniel for the Miami Dolphins. This is a new one for us to talk about as well. Josh McDaniels to the Raiders, Doug Peterson with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Lovie Smith was promoted from defensive coordinator up to the head coach of the Houston Texans. All right. So Dennis Allen with the Saints. This is a new one for this week. He was signed this week. It makes sense. So the Saints are an interesting franchise. They've got a lot of things going on behind the scenes, legally, things like that, issues going on. It's a tough situation with that team. They don't really have a quarterback in place. They
don't have a running back now, maybe.
You have Alvin Kamara, who is in some big-time legal trouble after the Pro Bowl. It's a rough situation there for the Saints, and it makes sense. Dennis Allen actually was interim coach for them some this year because of Sean Payton not being available for the game. He knows the team. He knows the ownership. He's been a head coach in the league before. This is an easy move up for them. It makes a little bit of sense because he's able to carry on the vision. It's not like they fired Sean Payton. Sean Payton just retired. So he's able to kind of carry on the vision and the momentum of that team. And if they end up having to move on from Dennis Allen next year, it's not that crazy because he was already a part of the team. So it's an easier way for them to cut ties if things just do not work out for them next year, which by all intents and purposes could be the case.
Yeah.
You have any comments on that one?
So, I mean, it makes sense. That Saints defense was fantastic. He's proven himself to be a very good coach in this league. It's going to be a struggle, I think, for them to continue on that Sean Payton offense without Sean Payton there. So I'm very interested to see who he tries to bring in, if he brings in anybody else or if he keeps the same staff now that he is the head coach. Because I'm sure there were guys that Sean Payton hired that maybe he's not fully on board with. So there could be a little bit of upheaval there. I don't dislike the hiring. I'm just very interested to see whatever a team loses or doesn't have a quarterback and a defensive guy is hired, what they can figure out and what they can do on offense. It makes 100% sense to slide him into that role because that defense was fucking amazing. That's what won them most of their games, especially after Jameis went down. I'm excited for him to have this opportunity. It's just, I think it's going to be a tough sledding for him at least this year.
They lost their biggest offensive weapon now in Alvin Kamara. Probably, he's looking at the very least a suspension, if not 5+ years jail time, for being part of an assault, which he has not been convicted of it yet. There's extenuating circumstances, and I think that's something that we can talk about here in the coming weeks because information is still coming out about this. But obviously, Kamara was involved in a battery charge that happened the day before the Pro Bowl. They allowed him to play in the Pro Bowl and then arrested him at the stadium afterwards. And basically fucked up some dude, essentially him and his posse.
Apparently they stomped the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, another elevator situation. Fucking NFL. They just should not let their players near elevators at all.
You guys got to take the fucking stairs.
But the Saints have actually come out, now they're potentially next best offensive weapon, Mike Thomas, who did not play this year. The Saints have come out and said they're not going to trade Mike Thomas. That could obviously change.
I think they're fucking lying because they owe Mike Thomas a lot of money. They're in salary cap hell, and it looks like they might be going to a rebuild.
Yeah. And then we actually had a comment here. Are you guys going to be live tomorrow for the game? No, we're not going to be live. Mike is actually having a little Super Bowl party here at the Casa just outside of Hangar 6, which will be, partaking in some beverages, some food, and watching the game. Maybe a TikTok or something like that.
Yeah, we might toss something up on TikTok. We can maybe do a quick Facebook Live. Really, I'm super excited for the halftime show, so I don't want to do a quick segment during halftime because I'm going to be fucking getting down like it's 1999.
Yep. Jimmy G to the Saints from Joe Rockstar. That's a possibility. It's an NFC to NFC trade, which makes it a little bit less likely, but I suppose I could see that.
Yeah, I could see it. But yeah. Well, we are not going to be live tomorrow, though. We are going to be enjoying. We'll try to put out some content. I mean, you're going to be here. I'm going to be here. We're going to be having some drinks. It'll be a good time. Shit's going to get wild. We'll kind of maybe show people the life that we're living with all the people we got here who support us on the Lineman Lounge. So.
All right. So next hiring was Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. He's going to the Miami Dolphins as their new head coach. This is the guy that looks like the Starbucks barista. Yeah. That's the meme that's going around. Weird looking dude, really weird personality for a head coach.
Yeah.
But look, I would love to have him on my team as a coach. I don't know, a head coach might be too big of a jump for him. It'll be interesting to see how he gets the locker room to work around him.
He's going into a tough spot.
He is a very, very smart guy, and his offenses have been pretty fucking awesome. The way that he has schemed guys up, using Debo this year, receiver, running back, he uses a lot of that pre-snap motion as well. I really like him as a coach. I think that he is one of those really boomer bust coach hires because his floor is actually very low. But his ceiling is potentially really high. Like you alluded to, though, that situation is going to be rough.
It's going to be tough. Like all the things that have gone down in Miami, I think it makes it just it's going to be a tough dynamic. Now, he has come out and publicly said he is totally behind Tua. He believes in Tua, thinks Tua can be his guy. No, I'm not doing that.
So, comment from Torres, Jimmy G to nobody. Jimmy G and Colin Kaepernick are going to be hanging out on the couch. Jimmy G will go somewhere.
Yeah,
Jimmy G's going to play
Jimmy
this
G's
year.
playing somewhere for sure.
We don't really need to get into the Colin Kaepernick thing.
But so he's a very smart, offensive-minded guy. He has learned under Shanahan. He is a student of that wide zone West Coast offense, and that offense plays in a lot of places in the NFL. But I don't know that Tua is the guy that runs that offense efficiently because Tua struggles in the short to intermediate passing game. I think that's going to be a really, really tough job this first year. I don't know if Tua hangs around. Obviously, McDaniels has to come out and say that, yeah, I believe in Tua. He's my guy. Because they've
released a whole bunch of media of him on the plane heading to Miami, talking to Tua on the phone, talking about how he's excited to play with him. And, of course, you have to do that. But Joe Rockstar brings up here, Jimmy G and Raheem Mostert going to Miami. That's a possibility. I mean, I can see that, too, because he knows Jimmy G. He knows what he can get out of Jimmy G. It's a safe option for him. So if they're able to
that is a perfect bridge quarterback when you bring him in, and then you go out and pick your guy, and you restart your timeline as a new NFL head coach, so you can go out and pick the guy you want.
Yep. So me personally, I like Mike McDaniel a lot. I'm wishing him the best there in Miami. It's a tough situation to go into, though, and it'll be really interesting because he is a younger guy. He's a scrawny guy, which whether or not players connect with that, who knows? But his energy, enthusiasm, the way that he talks and interacts with the players from the media that's out on YouTube and things like that, I really like. I think players can connect with that to an extent. But at the end of the day, winning cures everything. So if he's able to go out there and make them as competitive as Flores was in year one, I think that's a success for him. And then we'll see the year after, is he able to build off of that.
Right. And that was, I believe, our first minority hiring is Mike McDaniels. Now there's going to be people out there like Mike McDaniels is white. I mean, he looks white. But he's not. His dad is black, and so that was the first kind of ball to drop on a minority hiring. He's actually talked about it quite a bit in his press conferences about his his upbringing, his heritage, and I don't know. It was good to see minority hiring. We needed minority hirings. We talked about this on the last episode. There's a lot of weird shit going on the internet. For me, I thought Mike McDaniels was a white guy. I had no idea that his father was black, but that's good. And that can kind of take us right into another minority hiring that I did not see happening. I thought there was no way that this was going to happen.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. Lovie Smith
Lovie
gets
Smith
promoted
getting another
with
spot.
in-house Houston Texans from defensive coordinator up to head coach. So this is his third head coaching stint. So former Bears head coach, former Bucks head coach, and now the head coach of the Houston Texans. It's interesting. Lovie Smith is a good coach. I don't know if he's a great head coach.
He's a defensive coordinator.
He is a very good defensive coordinator. What's interesting here is that David Culley was the head coach of this team last year, and he took a team that should not have won almost any games and made them able to come out with 4 wins, which is very good. Now they have a whole bunch of different stuff out there as to their reasonings for firing Culley, and people are speculating a lot about that. The team has come out and said that just their vision for the future was different. But if your vision for the future is different, then why are you bringing in someone who's already in house? How do you have that much of a different vision? And to put it down, I don't want to be conspiracy theory or anything like that, but I mean, Flores, I think, was their top option down there in Houston.
I think so too.
Flores took it, a lawsuit against the NFL, and that kind of made him untouchable. I still think they should have fucking hired Flores. Have the sack to go out there and get your guy, regardless of what else is going on with him in the NFL. They also seem to really want McCown. McCown, who, we talked last week, never been a coach on any level, high school, college, NFL, never been a coach. Obviously, a name that's well known as a quarterback in the NFL, well respected, well liked.
I mean, in his last couple
really
of years in the league, he basically was a quarterback coach because the only time he was going to play is if it was literally nobody else knew how to throw the fucking ball.
But that knock against him was that he hasn't been a coach. And then also with everything swirling around the NFL and the stuff with Flores, he's a white coach. So the optics of it weren't as good for him.
Right.
And you know what? For whatever reason, they're just like off on Bieniemy. That's the guy that Deshaun Watson wanted, to come down there last year instead of Culley. I feel like if they weren't going to go with Flores, they should have gone just with Bieniemy. You can argue whether or not you think he's going to be a good head coach. I've heard a lot of arguments both for and against, and I get all of them. But you might as well go with that Bieniemy, who's going to bring in a different vision.
And he keeps your franchise quarterback who he paid all year to not play.
Yeah.
Lovey doesn't do that. Deshaun is gone.
Yeah.
Now, for sure.
Should be.
There's he's not. I don't know their relationship, the defensive coordinator and the quarterback, but I don't imagine they have the greatest. I'm not saying they have a bad working relationship, but they're probably not super close. So you have a guy who you paid all year because he's not on the commissioner's exempt list to not play. And I don't know if he is gonna not play again. He could be like, I'm out. I'm not doing this Lovie Smith thing. Get me the fuck out of here. I'm not playing for you guys. I told you this last year. You should have traded me when you had the opportunity, but you got greedy with Miami when I wanted to go and play with Flores. You didn't hire Flores. This is a bad hire. And it's not because of Lovie Smith. It's because all of the things around it.
Yeah, that's it. And look, Joe brought up a comment here. We need a minority hiring ? We need to leave race out of it. This is what we need. This is coming from a minority. Look, and like I said last time, I just wish minority, black, white, whatever color, it doesn't really matter. I would like to see the best coach available be out there and coach. But that would be discounting the fact as well that the league just doesn't have minority coaches. So that whether or not there's implicit racism or underlying racism, there's arguments to be made there. I think we are moving towards a league where owners are going to be more open to minority hirings. It could be underlying unknown to them type of racism where they just view a guy differently because of the cultural backgrounds or something like that. And I'm not the person to talk about this because I honestly don't know this. I don't have any background in
We're
this.
both white, so
I think I can speak for everyone. We would just like to see the best coaches in place.
right. And the best coach who was available, who should have gone there, was Brian Flores.
Yeah.
I don't understand the Lovie Smith hiring. Now it's the minority hiring. Cool. I mean, the NFL is trying to make a push towards that. And a lot of this is coming out because of the things that Brian Flores has alleged against the NFL. We talked about it the last episode. The Rooney Rule doesn't work. They need to find some other way to make diversity a thing. They were never going to hire Flores, even though I think he's still the best coach on the market. I mean, he took that Dolphins team and did great things with them when they were expected, possibly even paid extra to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just, I don't like Lovie Smith. It's not Lovie that I don't like. It's the situation around the Texans.
Yep. Which I brought up Bieniemy. So Bieniemy did not get a head coaching job. However, his contract has expired with the Chiefs.
I think he'll be back.
Do you think he'll be back with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think so. I saw a couple articles coming out. The players want Bieniemy back in Kansas City. They love him there.
I could see him leaving for another offensive coordinator and assistant head coach position somewhere else with one of these teams that does not have one yet.
Maybe he goes to a team where they let him call the plays because we know that he's not calling the plays right now.
Mm-hmm. So that's been one of the big knocks on some of these guys. Now, like O'Connell hasn't called plays, but he's still got a job.
Yeah.
But it can be a perceived knock on a coach if they are not calling plays. If he's able to get out of Andy Reid or out from under Andy Reid, not like it's necessarily a bad thing, but if he's able to go to another team, be the offensive coordinator there, call plays, be like an assistant head coach type role, have more, input into the offense where there isn't a question about it and still have success, then I don't see him not getting a head coach job next year.
Right.
And I think that could be a draw for him to leave Kansas City. Odds are that he'll stay there. But if he's looking for professional growth to become a head coach, it might be in his benefit to leave.
It might.
Yeah, so with his contract expiring, I could see him going somewhere and being a OC
where he gets to call plays.
Yeah,
for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of happens there. We have another comment here. This is an issue because years ago the league did not take the opportunity to develop their talent. We know that there's been implicit racism within the league. We know that there's been underlying racism within the league, and the league's trying to fix that. Joe said leave race out of everything is all that he's saying. We agree. In a perfect world,
that's what happens.
No one sees color. In a perfect world, no one sees color. You're just putting the best possible candidate in place. One of the podcasts that I listen to, my Minnesota Vikings podcast, Norse Code, they talked a little bit about this, how the Rooney Rule is not effective. What are the best ways to attack it? And they didn't really have a good answer, but they brought up some things that, I hadn't necessarily thought about, how there is nepotism within the league and some cronyism.
I mean, look at all the recycled coaches we get every year.
You see recycled coaches and you see sons of coaches and things like that who are hired for positions that maybe they are good for, maybe they're not. This year we had Mike Zimmer as my head coach, and he had his son Adam Zimmer, who's worked his way up through the team, and he was one of our 2 defensive coordinators because we had dual defensive coordinators this year.
So he was given a title.
Yeah. And did he really deserve that? I don't think so. I don't know anything really about Adam Zimmer, but I don't think that he was anything special. He didn't do anything, that made me say like this guy's deserving.
Yeah.
There are other issues within the league, such as nepotism, which allow if you have traditionally white only coaches and then you have the nepotism aspect where now their sons and stuff like that are moving over in the league, it's creating a pipeline of more white coaches, I guess. So there's other factors involved there, but it would suck to have, you have a Kyle Shanahan who is the son of Mike Shanahan.
Right.
Obviously he's deserving of the position that he's in. But you could claim that there's nepotism to his pipeline to getting to become a head coach where he is now. There's other factors and things involved. I think that we are going to be moving towards a more diverse league as far as head coaches before too long, but this is not going to happen overnight.
No.
And the Rooney Rule
this
is
is
trying
not something
to,
that's going to go away.
Yeah,
This
the
conversation is
Rooney
going to
Rule-
continue on
yeah.
for a while.
the Rooney Rule is trying to force this to happen now, when this is something that's going to happen over time gradually as the world just becomes more culturally diverse.
Right. I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yep. And Joe Rockstar, when you endorse this, you promote division on both sides.
And this is a conversation that I think needs to be had. Now, is it a comfortable conversation? No, it's not. There's going to be people on both sides people who like this conversation, people who hate this conversation. But I believe it is a conversation that needs to be had. It's something that it's paramount. It's everywhere in our lives, and I think it would be a disservice to not speak about it like it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's like I said. Perfect world for me is we don't see color, and the best head coaches and coaches in general available are just put into those positions. I would love to see a league where the Rooney Rule doesn't exist because there's no need for it.
Right.
There's no
and
perceived racism.
So
or anything
Joe's
like
next comment, I agree. That's exactly what needs to stop happening. We need to get rid of nepotism.
Yeah.
Good fucking luck, though. I mean, this is
apparently there has been talks of that where coaches can't hire their own kin. That wouldn't prevent them from, like, Mike Zimmer calling up another team and being like, hey, my son's really good at doing this job, you should hire him. There could still be that sort of nepotism. Like Deuce Gruden is strength and conditioning coach. I believe he was strength and conditioning coach for the Raiders under John. It's not going to prevent one of the Grudens saying, hey, Jay's awesome, you should hire him. That's still going to happen. Realistically, it just should be the cream should rise to the top.
Correct.
And you're going to have, Wade Phillips' son, Wes Phillips, is out there. He's possible going to be offensive coordinator for my Vikings and stuff like that. He's been Titans coach, stuff like that. If your dad is a head coach and you are around that your whole life, chances are you're going to know more about football than someone off the street.
Absolutely.
So there's obviously going to be that pipeline again, talking about, but there's could be perceived, implicit, or otherwise nepotism that's going on. There's a whole bunch of these issues. But like I said, perfect world, cream rises to the top, best coaches go into a place where they should be, and you don't have to see color. It doesn't really matter. But that's the society that we live in right now, is that people are going to assume that there's going to be racism in all things. And there very well could be. We just don't know, because a lot of these things that happen with the owners and stuff like that are done behind closed doors, and we don't know. They're not going to put in writing, don't hire a black coach or something like that.
Yeah, that will never be in writing.
Unless it's in John Gruden's emails.
Which we'll never see.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, thank you. I agree. It should happen naturally.
Yep.
The Rooney Rule doesn't work.
We got Torres here. Get another beer ready, Mike. Also, Evo, get one too. Don't be a pansy. I'm not being a pansy, and also I'm not going to be terrorized.
Yeah, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will drink a beer with you, Torres. But so, guys, this has been a really good show so far. Our Facebook page has gone from 348 members up to 359 members during the show alone. So
awesome.
We're getting some interaction. We're getting some people in here. That is fantastic. Thank you guys very much. We also have a contest going on throughout the show. If you guys want a chance to enter into the Lineman Lounge 56 giveaway, we need you to like, subscribe, follow, and also comment hashtag Lineman Lounge 56. You can do that on the YouTube. We're also taking some submissions from Facebook and on Twitter. So we're going to give away a $56 gift card. You can use that towards some bets. You can use it for a couple cases of beer. You can take your lady out for a nice seafood dinner. But guys, so far you guys have been fantastic. We have a ton of interaction today. Thank you very much. But are we good on the coaches? Because I think it's that time.
We are ready to get into the big game, the Super Bowl 56, happening tomorrow out in LA.
I am so excited for this game. There are so many fucking storylines. There are so many bets. There's just, and I am torn. I am a Browns fan. I am a Browns fan to my core. So rooting for the Bengals hurts me. To root, all right.
Starbucks number 1.
To accept, press.
Torres, you're on. Hey, give me 1 second, my guy, and then I'm going to bring you back on.
Sounds good.
All right. It hurts me to root for the Bengals. I don't want to root for the Rams either because OBJ. This is the Browns fans' worst nightmare. We could potentially be the only team in our division who has never won a Super Bowl. We have the Rams, who we send away a guy, don't get anything for him in OBJ, goes to the Rams and is potentially going to win a Super Bowl after he trashed our quarterback, created dissension within the locker room. It's exciting. It's crazy. This game is going to be fantastic. With that being said, let's bring in our guy, Torres. All right, Torres, you're on. What you got for us?
Oh, no, you said NFL, you said big game, and I was like, and I'm going to call in. So let's do this. Hey, Evo, where's your beer?
It's at the house.
I got more in the cooler.
All right, let's do this. Let me know when you're ready.
Are we doing Sexy Torres shotguns twice?
Yeah. I've already committed to day drinking, so we're good.
All right.
All right.
Day
well,
drinking it is. All right, give us a second, Torres.
Throw it up there. You still got the key over there?
I do.
All right, good.
Adjust the mic so people can hear our guy.
And watch you spray beer all over the room again.
Wait, I suppose. Who do you got your money on?
We're not there yet. You're going to have to stick around and get all of our picks.
So Torres, we are going to break down both squads, go over what we like, what we dislike, why we are going to be leaning towards where we're leaning, and how those picks are going to go. So, like Mike said, you're going to have to stick around, wait to find out, and see where we're going with this.
So I can't just get like the splurge right now on a phone call?
Hell no.
No, of course. You know I'm gonna stay tuned in. It's a good show. It's a good show. I like it.
Well, we appreciate you being a part of the show, Torres. It's always nice to have you call in for Sexy Torres Shotgun Time.
I don't know why I can't do
I
this.
think I made a bigger hole this time, so I can have a better chance. Let me at least beat somebody.
Are you doing another seltzer?
Yes. And then I'm probably gonna take a nap after this.
All right, Torres, you get to call it again whenever you're ready.
All right, hold on. Let me get this ready. Good. All right, breathing's good. Everything's good. Go Colts. We suck. On the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 7, go. Yes.
Oh, I beat you.
God damn it!
Woo.
Did I at least beat Evo?
I think
I don't know.
I don't know. It's close.
We were right
We're
about
gonna have to go back to the tape on instant replay and check it out.
All right. Well, this has been a fun Super Bowl. I guess
Terrorism.
my take on it is, I'm going for Bengals, even though Rams have all the offense. You guys don't have to. Obviously, you're gonna do your take on it, but I think the Bengals will take it just because they're hungry. I think the Rams bought a team. And yeah, go Joe Burrow.
All
I'll
right.
let you guys do your thing. And get to that part when you get to that part.
All right, brother. Well, thank you again for 2 iterations of Sexy Torres Shotguns. We're going to start diving into some of that right now.
Awesome.
All right, man. Well, yeah, it's a good show, so I figured I might as well make it fun. Lineman Lounge 56. I need $56 so I can bet irresponsibly.
There we go. By the way, guys, if you have a gambling problem, do not bet outside of your means. So we got. We'll toss that. We'll toss the gambling hotline up there at some point. All right, buddy. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, brother.
See you.
All right, Joe Rockstar. He's putting out his bold prediction here. Aaron Donald chokes Whitworth, but doesn't get ejected until later when Ramsey punches him and chokes Ramsey to death. Are we talking about a WWE match here? Live. Cage match from the top rope, and Bengals win. That's Joe Rockstar's
So we got 2 Bengals wins. We have a fucking brawl happening. So let's start. We're not going to get into just, okay, this is who I think is going to win. This is who I think is going to win. We're going to break this down kind of by position groups and things that we think that teams do well, who is better in each aspect to kind of lead us up to who's going to win this game.
Yep. So I think we can start off with the quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So this is something that's going to be talked about a lot. Now you have Matt Stafford, who comes from a much maligned Detroit system. We've always known that he's talented, strong arm coming out of Georgia. And he's had some talented guys there, like Calvin Johnson. And he's put up big numbers. We've always known him to be a good quarterback, but is it, Matt Stafford not being good enough, or is it just the Detroit Lions? And I think that we've answered that. Detroit Lions just have been a dumpster fire, and they did Matt Stafford no favors. Him coming out to LA immediately boosted that team. The team was able to get to the Super Bowl before with Jared Goff. Now they've got a true good quarterback in Matt Stafford there. It's good to see Matt actually getting his chance to go and play in the big game, actually get some playoff wins and things like that. No doubt that Stafford is a very, very good quarterback. Above average is his floor, I think, for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's elite, but above average, very, very good. Awesome to see him there. But then you have on the other side Joe Burrow, who is up and coming, and this guy absolutely has a potential to be elite if he's not already reaching there.
This guy's Joe Burrow's going to win an MVP at some point, and it may be next year. This is a very tough pick for me if we're picking the quarterback position, because I know what Matt Stafford is, and he's a baller. He has always been a baller, even when he was stuck with that terrible team in Detroit. But Burrow has this swag about him that he does the things he has to do when he has to do them. Normally, he is a persuasive terrorist. Burrow does what he has to do when he has to do it. Stafford's always kind of been a guy who can rise to the moment. And a lot of times when you're talking about a Super Bowl or you're talking about the playoffs, you're like, is the moment too big for these guys? I don't think the moment is too big for either one of these guys. Then you start talking about experience. Who has the experience? Fucking neither one of them have the experience in the playoffs.
In the playoffs or in the Super Bowl, neither of them do. But Burrow has experience in championship games.
He does have experience in championship games. He won a high school state title. He won a college national championship, and now he is playing for a Super Bowl. Now, Stafford was a high school winning quarterback. He won state. Did not have that kind of success at Georgia. As we know, Georgia was much maligned for a while, and they finally broke through that ceiling this year with their national title. But Stafford couldn't lead that team to a national title while he was there. So these guys are both winners. They are absolutely both winners. Stafford, I don't think, gets enough credit for the kind of winner he is, because if you take Matthew Stafford off of that Lions team for the last, decade, we're talking about the worst franchise in all of sports without that guy. He elevated everybody and that franchise to levels that they probably should not have been. Now, he has made the playoffs with the Lions before, but we're not talking about this level. So this is a very, very tough pick for me on who has the edge at the quarterback position.
Well, I'll go first then. If I'm rating these guys, 1 out of 10, 10 being, elite level, best that you can rating for this Super Bowl team, I'm giving Joe Burrow a 9, and I'm giving Matthew Stafford an 8. I'm having Burrow edge out Matt Stafford. the experience in the league and everything of Matt Stafford is phenomenal. But Burrow, he's been in these big time, big game situations, and he's Joe Cool. He stays cool, calm, collected. He's got that moxie that you like to see.
Swagged out to the max.
Not that Stafford isn't going to be good and can't do well, but the one knock that I have on Stafford is that he has had, especially later in the year, some turnover issues.
Yeah.
He's known to throw some boneheaded interceptions.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a big time decision maker in this game. If he throws one of those boneheaded interceptions, like you're always kind of feeling it in the back of your head, like he might throw a boneheaded interception here. At least that's the way I felt watching him in the playoffs so far this year. Whereas with Burrow, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about, is he going to have enough time behind that line to get the ball out and get it to any one of his phenomenal receivers? So for me, this is extremely close. It really is. I'm just giving the edge barely to Joe Burrow on this one.
Okay, so hearing you talk about that you're giving the slight edge to Burrow, and for all the reasons, it makes me want to take Burrow. But as you're talking, it's like, I mean, so Burrow is Joe Cool. He's swagged out. He is the guy. And Stafford made a lot of bonehead decisions late in the year. Stafford made a lot of bonehead decisions late in the year when he lost Robert Woods and they added OBJ. OBJ and him were nowhere near on the same fucking sheet of music when he got there. Those guys are hooking up very well now. They are starting to catch a rhythm. They understand each other. That gives another option outside of Cooper Kupp. And I think Vance Joseph is a very capable number 3. I think that Stafford has a little bit more rise to the occasion than I've seen out of Joe. Now, Joe has always done the rise to the occasion thing. I'm gonna give the slight edge. If I was picking numbers, the 1 out of 10, I'm going 9.1 for Stafford, and I'm gonna go 9.0 for Burrow. I think that they will both play very well in this game. There's just something about the way that Stafford has performed throughout these playoffs where he is really elevating his game to prove, listen, that my win-loss record is not a reflection of the player that I am. That is a reflection on the dog shit organization I was a part of in the Lions. And he's going to ball out. That does not mean things are going to go his way in this game. They could, but we're going to continue to break down those positions. The slightest edge to Stafford, just because of the more experience within the league. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Burrow just doesn't know what he doesn't know, and it won't affect him.
Part of it for me is that I think Stafford can play up in big situations, but he also knows what it is to lose in big situations. Burrow doesn't have that yet.
Not yet.
Part of it is mentally, if Burrow doesn't know what it is to lose, maybe that doesn't affect him as much. Maybe all he thinks is that he's out there invincible and able to get that win. And so he doesn't have some of those negative thoughts playing into it.
But does that detract that he doesn't know and that he will maybe force that ball?
I don't know. I mean, you have that winner mentality of like a Tom Brady where it's like they're never out of it. If Burrow doesn't have that mentality of it's a possibility that we could lose here, maybe it doesn't even factor in as an option and he just doesn't let it affect him.
So for me, of all the things that we're going to talk about, this is the closest thing of all the position groups, all the units that we're going to talk about. This one is so fucking close to call. And it's the most important position in football that this game could go either way. This is so hard to pick because both these
It is a
dudes
great
ball.
quarterback matchup. It is
Oh,
a
yeah.
great quarterback matchup. So let's move on from there. We'll move on, not necessarily straight position groups here,
Yeah,
but we'll
it could
talk
be
about
units.
receiving. All right. We'll
The
go
receiving
receiving.
unit.
All right. So this is your tight ends, your receiving backs, your wide receivers for both units. And let's talk about just the unit in general, not necessarily who they're playing against.
Right.
Because that
is
definitely makes
factor.
a big difference. But straight up receivers, you've got the Rams, Cooper Kupp, OBJ, Tyler Higbee's been placed on the IR.
Yeah, he is out.
All right.
But they do have Van Jefferson, who works very nicely into that third receiver role and works well outside or in the slot if they want to slide Cooper Kupp out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a damn good group. I think any group in the NFL takes that. On the other side, though, we have Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins, 3 fantastic receivers.
Yep. Those guys, not a one of them is below a number 2 receiver on a team, I don't think.
Agreed.
And because they have so many good receivers on that team, that's why there's going to be a third guy in the depth chart. To add into that, you've got a CJ Uzama,
who looks like he is going to play in this game, whereas the Rams are missing their guy in Tyler Higbee.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
I know where I'm going here.
And we didn't really talk about the backs. Akers, he's a do-it-all back.
Mm-hmm.
Sony Michel, a do-it-all back, but a little bit lesser.
Yeah.
And then over on the Bengals side, you've got a Joe Mixon and a Samaje Perine. Perine's more of their receiver.
Right. Because we don't want to break down the running backs yet. We just want to talk about what they can do in the
passing
from the
game.
receiving game.
Yep. I've got to give the receiving options to the Bengals. You've got 3 stud receivers.
Mm-hmm.
You have your tight end available, although he's probably going to be not 100%. And then the way that they've used Perine, especially in the playoffs, as a receiving back option for me, I think you've got 4 to 5 good receiving options on the field at any given time for the Bengals. Whereas for the Rams, you've got 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. And that's not to say that the Rams aren't going to be able to utilize their guys, because I do think, and I'm going to become a homer for this, that Kevin O'Connell and McVay are going to be able to work their system with the guys that they have available and get the most out of them. But for me, I think that when you have that many awesome receiving options on the field, you can't defend them all. And what it'll end up coming down to is the blocking.
Yeah, which we'll get to. So for me, it's the Bengals as well. Cooper Kupp is the best receiver on the field for both teams. No doubt in my mind. He is the cream of the crop of this group. But there is a drop-off to an OBJ and a Van Jefferson. On the other side, we have Jamar Chase, who is easily their best receiver, but he is not what Cooper Kupp is. But their 2 and 3 are at a minimum 2s on damn near every other team in the NFL. They are so fucking good. They had 2 guys over 1,000 yards. I believe Tyler Boyd was at 900 something, and CJ Uzama had a really good year, even though he's banged up. I think Joe Mixon can do more out of the backfield than we will see out of a Cam Akers and a Sony Michel. Samaje Perine is starting to get more opportunities, but I haven't seen it enough yet to make me think he's going to be a big factor in the passing game. Now, we saw it with the 70, or was it 70 or like 40, that he took the screen to the house.
Mm.
That's great, but I got to see more of it. To me, that doesn't make a difference. Cooper Kupp's the best receiver, but the Bengals have a better unit overall. They have the best receiving unit in the NFL, in my opinion. I was early on in the year saying it's the Cardinals. They're the best receivers. It's not the
and
Cardinals.
Jamar Chase had the drops in the preseason and stuff like that, so we didn't really know that he was going to do this. We knew that he had the potential, but he obviously got those drops worked out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he fucking catching everything coming his way.
Yeah. So receiver group, it is the Bengals for me. So right now I'm 1-1.
We're both with the Bengals on this one.
I think that the Bengals for sure on this one. I'm 1-1. You're 2-0 for the Bengals right now.
Yes. Now, 2 questions here. both, obviously not really a thing. But if you had to choose, not just for this game, but in general, as the Rams, are you going with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods as the better receiving duo, or Cooper Kupp and OBJ?
Robert Woods.
Yeah.
Give me Robert Woods.
Same. And the trade or the pickup of OBJ happened just before Robert Woods went out for the year.
Right.
If it was Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and OBJ, how would that impact your decision between them and the Bengals receiving group?
I would lean towards the Rams because Cooper Kupp is the best receiver on the field. If they had Robert Woods, that offense is more dynamic with the things that he can do in the reverse screen game than what the Bengals can do.
They're both really good possession rack guys, and they run phenomenal routes.
Mm-hmm.
The Woods and Cooper Kupp play so fucking well off each other.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Robert Woods this offseason, because I'm pretty sure his contract is up.
I don't think it is. I think he has one more year left.
I don't know if they can retain all those guys.
Well, I don't think OBJ is going back to the Rams.
I almost think that OBJ does go back to the Rams and Robert Woods leaves.
Well, hey, listen, if the Rams are trying to get rid of Robert Woods, I know a team that would fucking take him in a heartbeat.
Minnesota Vikings, go with your former OC, now head coach.
No. Let's
three deep
go to the
out
Browns.
there.
Go to the Browns.
We'll do 3 deep out there. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Robert Woods. I'll fucking take that all day with the KJ Osborne kicker. Fuck it. Tyler Conklin and Irv Smith back there. Fucking, that would be I'd cream my pants.
Robert Woods was very underappreciated for what he was doing in this offense before he went out.
That's the thing, is if Cooper Kupp wasn't on this team, Robert Woods is easily a number 1 receiver in the league and putting up big numbers. He might even be, putting up Cooper Kupp style numbers.
Yeah, Robert Woods is really fucking good, man. He's going to catch on somewhere when he gets healthy from the injury, and he is going to light it up. He is so fucking good.
Pulling up the Robert Woods contract right now to see where we're at. So it looks like he does have
1 year left, right?
2025.
Oh, so they've just re-signed him.
Yep.
Oh, so
his potential out is 2022, second year into his deal. It would be 12 mil in dead cap.
Okay. That's not terrible, depending on what the Rams decide they want to do. And we know how frivolous those people are with fucking their players and picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they signed Todd Gurley to the biggest running back contract and cut him.
It was brought up earlier in the stream that the Rams kind of have bought their team. Like the fuck them picks mentality.
Yep.
It means that a guy on the team, even if they're really good, doesn't mean that they're going to stick around, because they have to make crazy contract decisions, cap decisions. They can move players in order to make things work.
Now, I don't know if they'll eat the dead cap, but if they can find a way to do a trade prior to the June 1, I don't know if they eat that. Mm-hmm. If it's post June 1, they're going to eat that. But so that'll be very interesting. If Robert Woods is available, fucking bring him my way.
Yeah, if one of those, any of those receivers out there are going to be looked at highly. It's just like the McVay tree for coaching, the receiver tree out there. Anyone's going to want one of those guys.
Yeah,
this boosted OBJ's earning potential big time, because
it's insane.
How he was performing in Cleveland, it was only kind of dropping.
Yeah, it was dropping.
He's back. If he goes back on the market, he's going to be earning some big cash.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that can allow us to transition into the running game.
Yep.
But real quick, again, we're going to mention we do have the giveaway going on right now. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, #Lineman Lounge 56 for the 56th Super Bowl in the NFL for a chance to win $56 from you boys here at the Lineman Lounge. All right, so running game. We've got Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine for the Bengals. Mm-hmm. And Amir Abdullah is with the Bengals, but he's less of a factor. Yeah. You then have Cam Akers and Sony Michel for the Rams. All right. And blocking does, again, go into this a little bit. We alluded to blocking, but we'll definitely get into the lineman play because I'm the fucking Lineman Lounge.
It's the fucking Lineman Lounge, baby.
We'll get into that here in a little bit, but purely based off running ability and the running styles of these teams, where do you have each of these teams ranked?
So Joe Mixon's the best running back on the field this weekend. Cam Akers is very, very good, but he has had issues with fumbles.
I mean, we saw a bunch of those fumbles against the Bucks. That hurt.
I think Sony Michel is a better number 2 than a Samaje Perine is. So where do we fall in here? Well, it's really going to come down to the things that they can do after initial contact. Joe Mixon has been so good after contact, creating extra yards. And that's not something that we've seen from the Rams backs. Sony Michel is a guy, when he is hit, he is down. Cam Akers is very good after contact, but struggles by creating more yards and then having fumble issues. So for me, I'm going Bengals here because I think Joe Mixon is the best, and Samaje Perine is a very capable number 2. Now, on the other side, those guys do a little bit more in the passing game, but I still think Joe Mixon is the best. He's the best receiving back. He's the best running back. Like, I'm going Bengals because Joe Mixon is that guy. He is a top 7 back in this league off the top of the head. I mean, because this guy's number 1. But yeah, I'm going to go Bengals there.
I'm going with the Rams, baby.
Okay.
All right. So I love Joe Mixon. I really wanted the Vikings to go after him when he was drafted, but we ended up going Dalvin Cook, and I like how that worked out for us. Joe Mixon is a phenomenal back. He has petered off towards the end of the year, and they've mixed a lot more of Samaje Perine into that system, albeit more in the receiving game. Mixon has petered off more towards the end of the year, but that's because I think the Bengals have been leaning on their pass game so much more because pass-wise, they are very, very, very tough to defend. Rushing, you can defend that a little bit more, especially with the blocking that's going on for them. On the flip side, the Rams are definitely more of a passing team, but they were able to get by with Sony Michel. The last game from Cam Akers, where we saw the fumbles and stuff like that, that is a big concern, but I think that they've had the past 2 weeks to work through some of those issues. That's obviously going to be a big focus for Cam. But the first game that we saw Cam Akers back, he was such a difference maker. And I think that's the Cam Akers that we're going to see tomorrow. Along with that, if Cam Akers wasn't playing, then obviously it's going to be the Bengals for me. Sony Michel is a running back. He is better suited to be part of a platoon, but he's serviceable. Cam Akers is a little more that X factor. He's so fucking fast. His quickness killed in his first game back from that Achilles injury, which is so surprising. I think that the running game for the Rams will be more successful, and that they're going to have to lean a little bit more on the running game because they are down a Higbee, in the passing game. So that's going to force them to lean a little bit more on the running game and be a little bit more diverse in their offense, not just leaning more heavily towards the running game. I think the Bengals will attempt to run it, but what we've seen from them in the playoffs is that they're not getting a ton out of their rushing attack, but they're using that rushing attack to set up more passing plays. And that includes the receiving options for the running back. But just purely talking about who's going to be more successful in the running game tomorrow, I think it will be the Rams, and I think it will be heavily predicated on Cam Akers.
Okay. So don't get me wrong. I love Cam Akers. When they said he was coming back, I sat on this show and said, Cam Akers is going to absolutely be a difference maker because the kid is special. He is. The fumbles worry me, man. They scare the shit out of me. The ball is the most important thing.
I mean, he had, it was 3 fumbles?
3.
Yeah, and I think that's an outlier. It's an outlier to his game. I don't know that he's been known as a fumble-prone guy.
I don't know.
I could be wrong on that.
I'd have to go back. I'd have to go back and look because I'm not.
I absolutely
sure.
could be wrong on that. I'm not positive on it, but I feel like that, especially 3 fumbles, is an outlier. Could there be a fumble? Sure, but I think the 3 fumbles is an outlier, and we might focus too hard on that from that one game because it was very impactful to that game. It allowed the Bucs to get back into it.
Yeah, it did.
All right, so
last offensive unit.
Blocking, pass and run blocking.
Yeah.
All right. So the Rams traditionally a little bit undersized for their linemen, but they've done very well this year. They've got a very good offensive line. And you've got the Bengals, who that's been their weakness on offense is
9 sacks.
they're
in a game.
blocking.
9 sacks in a game.
And I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like it's got to be the Rams in this one.
It's
man.
easily the Rams in this
Yeah.
one. The Bengals, their line is still very, very tough. Deb is my mother-in-law. Once again, hi Spanky. So
Wants to know where the
we
game
we have started to run out of fucking room on the wall to put shit. So that is in Graydon's room because he saw it and was like super fucking excited about it. So we put the gamer thing in Graydon's room, and then Mama Carlisle coming in with a Super Bowl prediction. It'll be a hard fought game, but this game is going
to be one on the
to
line.
be one on the line. I think the Rams are going to blitz a lot. I'm taking the Rams to the win, but only by 3 points or less. It may come down to which team is in position for the last position of the game.
Mhm.
So
No.
I don't necessarily disagree with Mama Carlisle there. I think this will be a very close game.
No,
And
it's
she's
tough.
calling right there. Bengals cover.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll get into that in a little bit.
But so it's like we said, we'll talk about the position groups and not so much about who they're playing. But when it comes to the line, it really, really does come down to who they're playing. Like if you're just talking who's the better line,
Even if it's not who they're playing,
the Rams
it's
have
still
the
the
better
Rams' better line.
The Rams have the
have
better
a
line.
way better line.
But if you're talking about who they're going to be going up against, that makes it even a little bit. It deltas a little bit more from there because you're going up against Von Miller, Aaron Donald, stuff like that, and we already know that Bengals line has issues. The Bengals defensive line is good, but they are hurt. They don't have Ogunjobi and things like that. That we've seen them get a little bit gassed here in the playoffs.
They don't have a rotation.
Yeah, versus an already better line. It's the Rams offensive line for me. I think the Rams offensive line will win in the trenches. And hashtag alluding to the future, I think the defensive line for the Rams is also going to be the
That's
one
just fucking
dominant.
nasty.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're both on the Rams there. So I got Rams 2 and Bengals 2, I believe.
Yep. All right. A couple more comments here. It is in Graydon's room, and Deb loves it.
Yeah.
All righty. So moving over to the defense. So I guess we can just jump straight in the defensive lines.
Yeah,
on this
I mean
one.
that makes the most logical
pass
sense
rush
after the
and the defensive line and how they affect the running game. Again, alluded to it, but that they both have good defensive lines.
Trey Hendrickson has been awesome.
He
for the
surprised me
Bengals.
this year. I wasn't so sure that he was going to be worth the money that they doled out to him this year because I thought it was a little bit fluky how he was playing with the Saints. I thought he was doing very good for the Saints, but it was definitely more in a rotational role there. Him being more full-time here with the Bengals, I didn't know if it was going to work out for him, and it absolutely did. Trey Hendrickson, he's great, but like you said, they don't really have a rotation. They're a little bit banged up. And then on the other side, you've got the Rams. Again, they went out and got a Von Miller. Took him a couple games to get working in the system, but he's working in the system. You've got Aaron Donald, possibly the most dominant defensive interior player in the game.
Ever.
He's so fucking good. And when you have that sort of a line that's going to be creating that sort of a pressure, I mean, Joe Rockstar thinks that Aaron Donald is going to fuck up Whitworth. It's the Rams D line for me. They're going to be able to get consistent pressure. It's going to force the Bengals to get creative with giving Joe Burrow time in the pocket or moving him out of the pocket in order to get passes off. And I think that defensive line for the Rams is going to be able to kind of create havoc against the Bengals offensive line when it comes in the rushing game too. That is definitely playing in for me as to why I think Cam Akers is going to have a big game and Joe Mixon is not going to have as good of a game rushing. The Bengals passing game is going to have to win them this Super Bowl. It's not going to be the rushing game for them. It's going to be the passing attack. And it's going to be very difficult for the Bengals to do that against this defensive front.
Yeah, this Rams defensive line is insane. They are so good. Aaron Donald, as I just said, I think he is probably the greatest interior defensive lineman of all time, rivaling a John Randall, somebody you're very familiar with.
Yeah, look, I love John Randall. I think he's definitely up there. I wouldn't even say that John Randall is the best interior defensive lineman of all time. Aaron Donald is just incredible at what he does, especially for his size. I mean, the way that he can be interior, he can go play on the outside of the line. He's so dynamic.
He plays a 3 technique. He
A
plays a
scary
5
fucking
technique.
guy.
He is so fucking physically dominant. He is not a big guy. He is short, has relatively short arms for the position. He fell in the draft because he was undersized, but he's so fucking strong. He's quick. He can do so many different things.
Yep, and this comment from Tori, if they don't get Burrow out of the pocket, they're going to have a day. That D-line is insane. Yeah, Burrow is going to have to get out of the pocket in order to buy time.
He's going to have to move for sure.
Open.
For me, it's the Rams. It's not even close. Trey Hendrickson has been fantastic for the Bengals.
And Sam Hubbard is good.
Hubbard is good. He had a massive role in their AFC Championship game, but it is not Von Miller and Aaron Donald.
By the way, Sam Hubbard, who's saying that Cincinnati is doing this for Harambe.
I saw. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for dicks out for Harambe.
It is affecting my choice in how this game is going to go to an extent. I've got to put it out there. Ever since fucking Harambe went down, this whole fucking society and world has just been in the shit can. Shit can. And if we can win this one for Harambe, maybe we can start to turn things around.
Yeah.
I digress.
But it's still the Rams. Their defensive line is fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
Are they the best in the league? Is that the best defensive line in the league with Von Miller on the opposite side?
It's close. I think the Bengals are up there. Or not the Bengals, excuse me, the Bills. That Bills line is pretty fucking incredible too. But they don't have an Aaron Donald.
They don't have an Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald
as a unit, I think the Bills could rival it, but Aaron Donald's
the best player in all of the NFL.
It elevates that D line so much having Donald.
They're so fucking good. We're both Rams, and I don't even think there's a question about that.
Absolutely. All right, which is the next group that you want to go to?
I mean, so naturally we just take one step back, go to the linebackers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there? I mean, for me, this is kind of a wash. Linebackers are not a major factor in the NFL now. None of these guys have a real big time sideline to sideline linebacker. Vaughn is a linebacker, but is lining up as a rusher. For me, this is kind of a toss up. Like the Bengals have done a good job on the second level because they have a piss poor rotation up front right now. They did a really good job of slowing down Kansas City. That makes me want to lean Bengals, but it's not a landslide by any means. We're looking up linebackers, right? Because is there a guy on either side?
For the Bengals, Logan Wilson has had himself a really great year statistically. And he's kind of the standout from that linebacker group. Whereas with the Rams, they run a base 3-4, which, to be completely honest, I think teams run a lot more nickel and things like that. But the base 3-4 ends up almost being like a sub package, even though it is their base defense. But I mean, you're looking at a Leonard Floyd, who traditionally is going to be a guy rushing. Same with the Von Miller. He's going to be rushing as that strong side backer. Troy Reeder is good. Don't get me wrong. He's good as their inside or right inside backer. And Ernest Jones is the other guy out there for the Rams. They're good. It's nothing that's necessarily standing out. This is close to a wash for me.
Yeah, this is a wash. This is a wash for me. I don't think there's a difference maker in the second level for these teams.
Yeah. I guess if I had to pick one, I'm going with the Rams a little bit more just because of they do have bigger name guys who technically are playing backer, even though they are rush backers for the most part, but you're not going to be rushing.
I mean, if we're adding in Von Miller and a Leonard Floyd, then yeah, I'm going to go Rams. Yeah.
But then that takes us to, I guess, the defensive backs and their ability to defend the pass.
Yeah.
All right. So the Rams, they have Darius Williams. They've got Jalen Ramsey out there. Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the league. He's probably going to be stuck on the hip of Jamar Chase.
Yep.
It would be smart to at least. But, Taylor Rapp at safety, you've got Weddle coming back in.
It's been very good for them.
Mhm.
I can't believe he came off the fucking streets and is doing what he's doing.
Their safety situation there is a little bit rougher for the Rams because of injury, but Ramsey is a huge difference maker.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Bengals, you've got Eli Apple, Von Bell, Jesse Bates, Chris Awuzie, or Chidobe Awuzie, excuse me, Mike Hilton. I think overall, your defensive backs on the Bengals as a unit are better.
Really?
But Jalen Ramsey is a huge difference maker, obviously, for the Rams. Again, it's really tough to compare these groups without talking about who they're going against.
Right.
I think that the Rams have a very, very good defensive unit, but it is tough to defend against 4 to 5 guys. I think that you start talking about one-to-one matchups, and there isn't enough talent on that Rams defense to completely cover up that offensive talent for the Bengals. Vice versa, you've got less offensive playmakers out there for the Rams going up against an overall better unit for the Bengals. It's actually very close for me. I think that I'm going to lean towards the Bengals on this one, just by a hair. And I think that's because of the number of offensive weapons going up against the defenders and vice versa for these.
So for me, I think the Rams have the better unit. Now their safety spot is tough because they've had a ton of injuries, but Eric Weddle came off the street and is balling. Yeah, I did not see going Bengals. Now the Bengals do have some things, and I'm going to talk about it. But Jalen Ramsey is an absolute fucking force. He is so goddamn good. He very rarely gets beat multiple times in a game, and that's what the Bengals are going to need from Jamar Chase. Well, I think there's some other things that could play a factor, but
if we were to just say Jalen Ramsey, Jamar Chase, we'll call that a wash, and then that's where I'm kind of looking at everyone else. That's where it becomes tough for me.
Yeah, so I agree, but I think the Rams unit as a whole is better, but I think a guy who's going to play a major factor in this game is Mike Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Hilton is one of the best slot corners in all of football, and he's going to be going up against one of the best slot receivers the NFL has ever fucking seen in Cooper Kupp. That's going to be a massive matchup because that's probably who's drawing that matchup. The majority of the night is Mike Hilton on him.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Hilton is very, very good. I do not trust Eli Apple.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Eli Apple fan.
Eli made a massive play in the Kansas City game to keep them in that game, making the stop on the goal line. That is not the kind of guy that Eli Apple always is, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eli has the capability.
It's the reason why he was a first-round pick, but also the reason why he has jumped around from the Giants to the Saints and now over to the Bengals is because he's inconsistent.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to get torched. And OBJ might be able to exploit that. Mike Hilton will play a massive factor. If Mike Hilton can do a decent job on Cooper Kupp, if he can hold Cooper under 100, that's going to be a big deal in this game. But I have to give my edge to the Rams as defense, as the unit as a whole for the cornerbacks.
All right. And I mean, I don't blame you. It's like I said, this is really close for me. It is very much so about the matchups in this one. I think that even with limited offensive players, I don't know how much I'm giving or if I'm giving too much credit to Higbee being out. I think that does make a big impact.
I think it will make an impact.
But it's tough, man.
Yeah,
I just know that Rams offense is able to utilize the players that they have and game plan for the team that they're going against.
Very good at that.
Their ability to game plan is top notch. The Bengals are good, but they have so many weapons out there that you just can't defend them all. Whereas the Rams are able to take the weapons that they have and game plan appropriately for the situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that kind of wraps up those positional groups. I mean, I guess we could go over special teams.
But I do want to talk about special teams a little bit.
They're both phenomenal as far as kicking.
Yeah. So really good in the kick game. Field position is going to be a huge factor in this fucking game, though. Johnny Hecker is the best punter in the NFL right now.
Yes.
He is so fucking good. And listen, guys, if you don't understand the special teams, I totally get where you're coming from because nobody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
Field position is going to be massive in this game.
I mean, we saw it lose the Packers, their playoff game.
Special teams can lose you a game. Very rarely is it going to win you a game. Your offense will get you in position to kick a field goal, but it's not your special teams getting you in position to do those things. Special teams can lose you a game for sure in the NFL, though. And the Rams are really fucking good on special teams because they have Johnny Hecker. Matt Gay is very good. And if we're talking about kickers, though, I give the edge to the fucking rookie, McPherson. That kid has ice running
They're
through
about
his
even
veins.
to me. Like both of those kids, they've just been phenomenal, especially in the playoffs. Both of them have been fucking phenomenal.
Now, this is recency bias to the max, but the Matt Gay short from 47, that's scary in a big time spot.
That's true.
So I'm going McPherson there, but field position, like I said, is huge, and I'm getting the edge there. Johnny Hecker, because he's the best in the league.
Mm-hmm. Not that Huber's bad for Cincinnati,
not bad.
But Hecker is the best in the league.
Yeah. So I think that will play a factor.
Absolutely.
All right. So I don't want to make our picks yet because we got some bets to get into.
Sure.
All right. So before we do that, though, I'm going to take a piss because
Alrighty.
if I don't, that's going to be a problem.
Yep. So I'll do a little prelude intro into what we're talking about here. So prop bets, these are bets that are done just about the game, surrounding the game, everything to do with this Super Bowl. Prop bets are a thing that are done during Super Bowl time that are fun to do every year because it can involve people who don't know as much about the sport and just are enjoying the Super Bowl experience, making the whole watch along that much more interesting and fun. So we'll get into things like what's going to happen in the halftime show, what's going to happen with the commercials, how many times the announcers are going to say certain things. So for people who are more passive fans of football, less about the stats and the players and stuff like that themselves, they'll be able to get a little bit more involved and into what's happening with the whole experience of the Super Bowl. All right. So some of the sections that we're going to go over here, and credit to theathletic.com. They are a paid subscription, usually for their articles, and they do phenomenal work. One of the best sports writing agencies out there, because they are less influenced by normal media things, and more about pure sports writing, statistics, analytics, things like that. But we're going to be going over stuff with the pregame, things with the commercials. We're going to be getting into the halftime show, and we are going to be getting into the game itself and the post game. All right. So we got Mike coming back in after draining the main vein, bleeding the lizard. Thanks, Torres, for making him have to do those shotguns and get those drinks in. But all right, Mike. So like I said, this is the Athletics article on some prop bets here that I was listening to again in one of my podcasts, sports podcasts that I like to listen to. They were going over this and I was like, this is fucking awesome. All right. So starting off here with pregame. All right. And I couldn't tell you which sports book this is. It might actually say in the article, but if you have a sports book that does prop bets, go ahead and look. They're going to have probably different odds, things like that. But talking about the pregame. So first off, how long will the national anthem be? That national anthem is being performed by Mickey Guyton, and the over-under of 1 minute and 40 seconds. All right. So some information to go along with this. Past 16 Super Bowls, there's been 9 unders and 7 overs. The lowest under is 1 minute 30, and the highest over is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. All right. The average length of a national anthem in those past 16 performances was 2 minutes and 0.4 seconds. But the average length of the solo performances was 1 minute and 58.6 seconds. All right. So again, the over-under for this, minute 40 seconds.
Do we know who's singing?
Mickey Guyton.
Who the fuck is Mickey Guyton?
I believe she's an African-American woman.
Okay.
That is all I know.
All right. A minute 46.
1 minute 40 seconds.
Minute 40.
1 minute 40. And again, like I said, the lowest in the past 16 Super Bowls has been 1 minute 30. The longest has been 2 minutes and 35 seconds, and the average is 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes of the past 16 Super Bowls.
So I don't know who Mickey Guyton is, which I know I wish I was a little bit more prepared for that. But a minute 40 seconds sounds very, very short to me.
Yeah, especially with the lowest in the past 16 Super Bowls being a minute 30.
So I mean, the odds tell me we're taking the over. We hammer the over there, right?
Same.
Now, normally we get a little bit of inside intel from somebody posting on Twitter or about
Excuse me.
About what the kind of preview performance, because they always practice. I mean, they're artists, right? I haven't seen anything on the how long things have been taken for the practice, but I'm still going to lean over there because the under sounds really, really low to me. So I'm going over on the prop there.
I'm going over as well. All right. Second question, also having to do with Mickey Guyton.
All right.
So
we're very prepared for
what
this
will
one.
be the main or dominant color of Mickey Guyton's outfit? White, yellow, gold, blue, black, gray, silver, red, pink, purple, green, or orange?
Ooh.
All right. And so the Athletic article here says, for what it's worth, a quick Google image search of Guyton did not return a lot of photos of Guyton dressed in white, but you never know in an event the magnitude of the Super Bowl, if it will inspire the performer to break from their norm.
I'm going to lean gray there because it seems like a neutral thing. I don't. Once again, I don't know where she's
a
from.
little bit of like that off-white gray in the Rams colors, and they might not want to like favor one team, even though the Bengals have a lot of white in their uniform.
Yeah, so that's why I was trying to think of something neutral because you don't want to lean one way or the other. That's why I was leaning gray, but that also lends to a black, even though the Bengals are obviously black striped. So that's why I'm leaning gray. I think I'm going to go gray there.
I really have no tells here on what they're going to be doing. I guess I'm going to go with white.
Going white.
I'm going to go with white.
Going
I feel like that's a
big showstopping
monochromatic, neutral type thing. And they want the national anthem to be a positive experience. White seems like an uplifting type of bright, vibrant thing. So I'll go with white.
Watch it.
I know. I mean, I hate. All right. We've got a prediction here of it being black. All right. Very well could be. We do have a question from producer Amber Carlisle. Question, one of my special bets on DraftKings is, will there be an octopus? What does that mean?
So octopus typically come out in hockey games. They'll throw dead octopus on the rink. I don't know that LA is a big hockey town. Obviously, they have the LA Kings, but I'm going to go with a no. I'm on the octopus there. It just doesn't seem like it fits the scenario. Now, if you have a prop bet, and we might get to it on the streaker.
I don't know if that's in here or not. I don't know. I digress. We'll move on. So, which player will be shown on camera first during the national anthem? Matt Stafford or Joe Burrow? The odds for Matt Stafford are -110, Joe Burrow -130.
So I'm going Stafford because they're not the home team, but they are playing in their home stadium. Stafford is the feel-good story of the year, I think, getting off the Lions. So I am going Stafford with the -110, and I like those odds better than the -130.
Mm-hmm. And I feel the same. I feel like it'll be Matt Stafford. I feel like that plays to a more wider audience with him being an older, more well-known quarterback. As much as everyone should know Joe Burrow, people are going to know Matt Stafford more. It's going to make him more appealing to people to see. All right. Which coach will be shown on camera first during the national anthem? Sean McVay or Zach Taylor? The odds are Sean McVay -150, Zach Taylor +110.
Yeah, it's Sean McVay. It's going to be Sean McVay. He is the visually appealing of the two. Not that Zach Taylor is a bad-looking guy.
Whoa.
But it's Sean McVay. There's also the conversations that Sean McVay might think about going elsewhere after the season.
No.
And spending more time with family. That has come up.
The only family that I care about with Sean McVay is his girlfriend / I think fiance, Veronica Cohn, who is Dime from the Ukraine, I believe. I would like to see her on the broadcast.
I wouldn't mind that either, but
Yep.
I
All right.
digress.
All right, and we have a YouTube comment. You know the deal. She's going to wear purple. Kobe tribute
Oh,
for the anthem. That's not a good or not a bad call there.
that's not
possible.
a bad call. What are the odds on purple? Do we know
They're
the odds
all
on
even.
purple?
They're all
Oh,
even, but
okay.
purple is a category. All right.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
also we have a comment here from the Facebook from Mama Carlisle, and it will be Burrow shown first.
Okay, Burrow, huh?
Ballsy call.
Don't get me wrong. I don't hate the odds. It makes sense to make Stafford the guy.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Tori Price, we do have you in the Lineman Lounge 56. We got you in the bucket.
We absolutely do. Got you, Tori.
Got you in the bucket. All right. So yeah, I think we're both on here for which coach is shown first. It'll be Sean McVay.
Yeah.
All right. What will the coin flip result be? Heads or tails? Even odds. And a little bit of history behind this. Super Bowl history. Heads has won 26 times, tails 29 times. Heads has made up some ground as of late, winning 3 of the past 4 Super Bowls and 8 of the past 13.
Tails never fails, baby. Give me the tails all day. I'm actually going to place a bet on the coin toss. I'm going tails.
All right. I will go heads just to be different because it's a 50-50.
Yeah, it's minus 110, minus 110. The sports books are not going to give you even odds there.
All right. And Tori Price is coming in silver for the outfit, I believe.
Oh.
Which
I thought he said black. Who said black?
Mama Carlisle.
Mama Carlisle said black. Tori got on the silver.
Yep. And by the way, it's gray silver is one of the categories. So you're actually kind of hedging your bets with multiple options there.
I got it.
All right.
My one headphone died, so now I can actually see everything. I just pulled out the other headphone.
All right. So now we're going to jump into the commercials category, a category that some very
We
passive
had a little bit of
fans-
an argument about this at work almost.
Did you?
Well, I believe it was me and you.
Was it?
Which one's coming first?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't an argument.
Well, little bit of
Yep. All right. So
converging ideas.
who will appear in a Super Bowl commercial first? The Budweiser Clydesdale horses or Frito-Lay's Megan Thee Stallion?
It's Megan Thee Stallion, and it's not even a fucking question in my mind.
Okay, well, I'm
She
going
is-
Clydesdales.
I know you are. The Clydesdales have been falling back. They do their things later, and it's always, the Budweiser's doing some sort of really cool promotional thing where they
Feel good stuff.
Yes, exactly. But that's not what's popping right off the bat. It's going to be Megan Thee Stallion.
they
She
normally-
is hot as shit right now. That's where they're going.
I think that it'll be the Clydesdales because they normally start off those Super Bowl commercials with less of the bigger ones. It'll be those feel good ones first, and then you're going to start getting into once people have been drinking stuff like that. They're going to
Megan
be
Thee
like,
Stallion's
"Give me
getting
Megan
at
Thee
least 2 commercials in.
You think?
At a minimum.
Oh,
Are you kidding
boy.
me? I see her all the time. So was it fucking Popeyes with her fucking new
She
new
does
sauce?
have a Popeyes sauce or something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Megan
Hottie
Thee
sauce or
Stallion
something
is
like that.
fucking coming out for
All right.
sure.
Tori says it's going to be Budweiser. All right.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Budweiser commercials. They're fucking fantastic. I remember watching them as a kid, like waiting to see the Clydesdales. It was the Budweiser or
Budweiser.
or the
frogs.
Clydesdales. That's what everybody waited for. It's like, what are they gonna do? But they're not doing it like they used to do. It's gonna be new. Listen, we have a entirely hip hop halftime show. Megan Thee Stallion's coming first.
All right. I'm sticking with my Clydesdales. All right. So next, who will be the first during FTX commercial? I don't know what that is exactly, but Steph Curry, Tom Brady, or Giselle Bundchen, or Shohei Ohtani. So
Let's figure out what FTX is real quick before I give these people bad advice.
So the odds for these: Steph Curry plus 150, Tom Brady plus 170, Giselle Bundchen plus 200, Shohei Ohtani plus 400. And this prop bet came from Bet Online.
FTX is where you can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
So who shows up first?
Yep. So best odds right now are Steph Curry plus 150, Tom Brady plus 170, Giselle Bundchen plus 200, Shohei Ohtani plus 400. And those are the 4 options.
So I'm going to take Shohei out, even though he's a fucking absolute superstar. And the fucking MLB should market him more because he is the face of baseball. But you know how baseball is.
Yep.
So he's not going to be on there. Steph is not a bad option. Now, I have not seen any Steph FTX commercials. The only FTX commercials I have seen, now that I know what they are, I remember the commercials. It's going to be Tom.
I think it'll be Giselle.
You really do?
I think they'll cut to Giselle saying something about, "Oh, thanks for retiring, Tom, blah, blah, blah." And then Tom will pop in and be like, "Oh, I'm not retiring. I'm still in the crypto game," or some bullshit like that.
Okay.
I'm going to take the plus 200 for Giselle. I thought it was a little out of left field, but I think I could talk myself into this one.
Okay. All right. I'm going with Tom just because those are the only ones that I have seen. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go. That was what, plus 170 you said?
Plus 170 for Tom.
Yeah.
All right. Which actor who has played a Marvel character will show up in a Super Bowl commercial first? All right. And these are actors that are already known to be signed for a Super Bowl commercial.
Okay. All right.
So you've got Paul Rudd for Frito-Lay.
Ooh, that could be a double dip.
Paul Rudd for Frito-Lay. Brie Larson for the Nissan Z. Their new Nissan Z. that they
Yeah,
come out
I
with.
know. I mean,
Or Salma Hayek for BMW, which, by the way, I've heard a little bit of a BMW commercial. They've got Arnold signed. They've got Salma Hayek, and they've got some other European actor that I have no idea who the fuck it is.
well, I mean, it's BMW. So,
and
people in Europe still do watch the Super Bowl.
And this BMW commercial is, I believe it's going to be set up for like 3 different commercials, one with each of these actors, as if they are going to be Marvel characters. So here's a little bit of background. So Dave Bautista, who plays Dax the Destroyer in the MCU, is also in the Nissan Z commercial with Brie Larson.
Okay.
But Larson appears in that commercial before Bautista, so no use including him for this question. Salma Hayek will be playing Zeus's sister/wife Hera. Zeus is being played by Arnold. In a BMW commercial. Hayek was introduced as Isaac, I don't know if I'm saying that right, the leader with healing powers in the MCU's
Correct.
Universal Eternals.
If you have not, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the Eternals, it's fucking fantastic. But Selma Hayek dies.
Oh.
So,
Well, she's going to be in the commercial.
So
She's already signed for it.
I understand, but as a main focus, I'm taking Selma out because she dies.
Okay, fair enough.
No, we have not got to that prop yet.
Nope, that is coming.
That is coming up though.
Yep. All right. So then, who are you going with?
I'm going with my boy,
Paul Rudd,
the fucking ageless wonder, Paul Rudd. The man has not aged.
Him and Megan
ever.
Thee Stallion.
I think that could be Is that a double dip?
His erection selection.
Is that a double? Megan Thee Stallion with fucking Ant-Man?
Pop off a piece of my dick.
Jesus Christ. Fucking 6 to midnight. Let's go.
All righty. Well, I really don't have much in this. So it does say MCU's Ant-Man Paul Rudd will co-star with Seth Rogen in one Frito-Lay Super Bowl commercial offering.
Ooh, so that takes...
It doesn't say that he's with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, so...
But it does say that he is with Paul Rudd.
Do they...
No.
Fuck.
That's my horrible Seth Rogen laugh.
No, that was pretty good. That's about what he fucking sounds like. So that takes it down a little bit for me, knowing that information. My other option was Brie Larson on a Nissan commercial.
Yes, Nissan Z. With,
okay, so I am switching my pick from Paul Rudd to Brie Larson. She is so goddamn good looking. I love you, producer Amber. But that shit sells. Like, she's gonna be quick. That's gonna be and the Nissan has been making a lot of commercials and it's the quick spots. Now they all have to be pretty quick because they're charging like $7 million fucking dollars for a 30-second spot. But I'm gonna go Brie Larson now that I know the Paul Rudd thing.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with Paul Rudd. I think I'm gonna stick with that. I think they'll add that in earlier as a funny one, a little humor, some sort.
Keep them engaged.
Next one we have, which will be the first shown during any Super Bowl commercial? A rocket, the moon, an astronaut, or an alien? All right. The odds for these: rocket is plus 125. Think Rocket Mortgage.
Okay. All right. So I'm thinking.
So
I got it.
It might not be your traditional rocket, but it could be like Rocket Mortgage or something like that, which we see a lot of commercials for.
Yes.
A moon plus 175. Now you've got To the Moon being a thing with crypto and that
Yep.
sort of stuff. You also have any sort of a night scene could have a moon in it.
Okay.
All right. So that makes a lot of sense. An astronaut plus 250. All right. That could fit in.
So I don't know. Have you seen the new commercials with all right.
Oh, Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Have you seen those yet?
No, I haven't. I normally don't really see commercials too much because I don't have traditional TV.
Okay.
And I just watch Lyman Lounge on repeat on YouTube.
As you should. Okay, so that was plus 250.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like the odds on the astronaut.
Or an alien plus 400.
Ooh, I like the alien. I like the alien because I like the odds.
I'm going moon plus 175 because I think To the Moon in social spaces with crypto being bigger this year and stuff like that, you could possibly have a possibility of it showing up there. But also, we're going to see some sort of a night scene in a commercial, and you might see the moon in the sky.
I'm going to go astronaut because my guy, Matthew McConaughey, all right, is those commercials just started coming out. I think they're making a push, and they have a lot to do with the making the world a better place, which is very much in the theme of what's been going on with the NFL. I think that plays early. I'm going astronaut.
All righty. It's the moon for me, baby. To the moon. All right, now we're jumping into a new category. Halftime show.
Oh, I'm not
Did you
gonna
have a little seizure.
I was about to get up and crip walk a little bit.
Oh boy. All right. How many of the halftime show headliners will appear on stage for the start of the show? All right, the start of the halftime show.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5 of them. And this is Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem. And to qualify, the artists need to be on stage before any words are spoken, sung, rapped by another artist.
One. Because Dr. Dre is the headliner. He's the guy. That makes me want to take that back because he is the headliner. He's the guy. But
I feel like Mary J. Blige will start things off
I don't.
to kind of keep it calm and smooth.
So I have this picture in my head.
We're going to get into what song.
I have this picture in my head where it is literally just the Still Dre beat, and that's the fucking way it starts. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the TikTok where the larger gentleman is doing like a ballet dance, and it's very nice, and it rolls into the Still Dre
kick
beat.
off with the California Love.
Are we gonna get into a holographic thing?
I believe.
Because I'm very excited for that bet too.
So I know it was talked about. Yes, we are.
All right, good. I'm so fucking pumped for that one.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5 at once. I don't see it being all 5.
It's not all 5. It's not all 5.
I'm going with
4.
1. I feel like it starts off with one of them.
So who opens up in Still Dre? Who is the? Is it just Dre? Because it's Dre and Eminem in the song, I want to say. But, oh, no, Snoop's in that too, I'm pretty sure. God, I remember that. I can't fucking play it because I don't want to strike on YouTube.
All right. Mama Carla's got 2.
2 is a good bet.
I'm going with 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my initial instinct. I'm going to go 1. It's going to be Dr. Dre. He's going to say something.
I think we'll have 1, and then we'll have another 2 jump in. It's going to be crescendoing up to that.
So before any words are spoken?
Yes.
1. Because Dre's going to be up there. It's going to be a start. He's going to say something, and then other people.
This is the best fucking halftime show ever.
Oh, my God, yes.
Like, it's been just such dog shit for so long. Like, I was expecting better with The Weeknd last year, but like you can't. This is.
So The Weeknd wasn't bad,
good.
But this is going to be insane. The fact that they got all 5 of these.
Yep. Amber, producer, says it's going to be M and Dre to start, and then we also have another one here from Mama Carlisle. It'll be her 2 pick. It'll be Mary J. Blige and Dre.
I don't feel like that. That doesn't kick off. That doesn't fucking create the initial pop. The song is going to be Still Dre. If it's please be Still Dre, because that's the way it should fucking start. That fucking beat hitting in that stadium is going to be electric. I'm going one, and it's going to be Dre. He's going to say something, and then almost immediately people are fucking coming out.
All righty. So that's even odds for those, but I'm going with one as well. So who will be the first to speak, sing, rap during the halftime show? All right. This actually does have odds. So Dr. Dre plus 150.
Wow.
Snoop Dogg plus 180. Eminem plus 250. Mary J. Blige plus 300. Kendrick Lamar plus 350.
Wow, you're getting plus odds on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So normally I like to take the higher odds. I like to kind of be somewhere in the middle, but I'm still going Dre because he's the guy that's headlining.
I said I thought it would be one, and that'd be Mary J. Blige, and that's plus 300. So I'm going to stick with that.
The plus 300 odds are nice. I like plus 300 odds. I mean, 3 times my money. Fucking tap it into my veins.
All righty. What will be the first song played during the halftime
Still
show?
Dre. It's fucking Still Dre.
All right.
I don't care what the odds are. It's Still Dre.
All right. I'm going to go through the odds for everyone else, though, because we got a list.
Okay.
All right. California Love, plus 250.
Okay.
Next episode, plus 375.
Okay.
Family Affair, plus 450.
Mm.
Still Dre, plus 500.
How? Oh, give me the plus 500.
Nothing But a G Thing, plus 600.
Ooh. Lose
Yourself, plus 650. Drop It Like It's Hot, plus 700.
Why is that in there?
Snoopy Dio Double Jizzle.
Yeah, but I don't even think you're going to play that.
All the Stars, plus 900. Humble, Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah.
plus 900.
I love Kendrick.
All Other Songs, aka The Field.
Okay.
That is an option as well, but it doesn't actually show the odds for it.
Oh, okay.
But I would assume that it's the worst because
those are
it's
the
at
hits.
them.
Those are the ones that everybody's going to know. It's
Mhm.
plus 500, Still Dre. If I had enough money in my sports book, I'm putting $100 on Still Dre. It's going to be that beat that fucking kicks this whole thing off, man.
I'm going to stick with my Mary J. Blige thing. I'm going to go with the lowest odds here, California Love, plus 250, because it's in Cali, it's in LA.
Yeah.
And I believe that she's going to be the one to sing
California
more melodic.
love.
She's going to lead into
She's going to.
California Love. You're getting some good singing here from your boys, by the way.
Yeah.
We're thick and we like to sing.
Yeah. I'm so fucking pumped for this
Let's be real,
halftime show.
we're gonna be fucking Ripper Magoo out there,
yeah.
and everyone's gonna be like, California Love. It's gonna be
fucking bottles of wine, cases of beer. It's gonna be lit out there. I can't. I so badly want that to be I'm not betting with my head.
I know it.
I'm not betting with my head.
I know
it's going to happen for sure.
And it's going to be a banger.
I'm not betting with my head, though. I'm betting with my heart. And my heart tells me it's California. It's Still Dre. And it's going to be just an epic. Like, it might not. I want so badly for it to be the fucking ballet, just a whole bunch of ballet dancers doing their thing, and then it fucking turns into Still Dre, and they all just start crip walking.
So they don't actually have this as a bet, but on Bet Online, they actually said that they have odds as well for which will be the last song played. Most notably, the odds for Lose Yourself are improving, and the odds for Family Affair diminishing. But you can always include this question for both the first and last song on your party prop sheet.
I think that one has they're going to finish out very strong, and I don't know that.
You need to check your phone.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Can I drive? Probably not. Yeah, go do whatever you got to do. Love you, producer Amber. I'm not going anywhere until you fucking pick me up and take me where we're going. I've had like 6 fucking beers. Thanks, right. Torres.
So next question. So for this last one, you've got Still Dre. I've got the California Love. All right. but still plus 250. I like this. I think plus odds. All right. Will any of the following three make a cameo appearance on stage during the halftime show? Jay-Z, Ice Cube, or Tupac's hologram?
Hologram. It's gonna be the hologram.
Tupac's hologram?
Tupac's hologram. I don't think Jay-Z's coming out.
Do you think there's any chance that Tupac and Biggie holograms?
No. So it's a California thing, right?
Yeah, I know, but
That's why I'm taking
There's
out. That's why I'm
the-
taking Jay-Z
the
out.
East Coast, West Coast beef stuff or whatever, it could be them trying to finally put it to
Well, I
fucking bed.
mean, Suge is in prison, so there's
They
that.
could
So,
try to put it to bed by having.
by the way, Snoop just bought Death Row.
He did.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
so the place where he started and was, worried because Suge's a, serial murderer. Don't kill me, Suge. No, I think it's gonna be a hologram. I think they're gonna get hologram is always tough. Like, what's the odds
Okay,
on the
so
hologram?
actually, this is will any of the three,
Oh,
yes or no, even odds.
even plus 100
It doesn't.
or
doesn't say.
minus. Okay, so even odds. I would say no. I would say that none of them. But if there is one, I'm going Tupac.
I think Tupac is possible, and I think Ice Cube is definitely possible too. Jay-Z, I'm less on.
Yeah, I'm not on Jay-Z.
But I'm going to go with the yes because I think any one of those three. So more information with this one. On April 15th, 2012, a Tupac hologram appeared on stage at the Coachella Valley Music Festival and Arts Festival, with it being the near 10th anniversary of that holographic appearance at the and the halftime show trailer revealing that Tupac's song California Love could be a part of the show's set list. It has led some to believe another Tupac hologram could be in the works for the Super Bowl. Jay-Z's entertainment company, Rock Nation, is co-producing the halftime show. And Ice Cube is a SoCal lifer who was an original member of the rap group NWA alongside halftime performer Dr. Dre.
And Snoop, I believe, was there. Oh no, they were both at Death Row for a while. I'm gonna say no. I think that 5 is a lot already. Because the halftime show, it obviously it's extended for the Super Bowl. They're gonna have 30 minutes, right? So there's going to be the intro, the collabs, the little bit of a mashup kind of stuff.
And so we'll get to some of these. So Mama Carlisle says Dre is going to introduce Mary J, and the first song is California Love. All right.
But as soon as words are spoken, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Dre. That's why I'm on Dre.
All right. Joe Rockstar says he thinks it's going to be
Eazy-E?
Easy. I don't know if that's going to happen.
That's definitely not happening.
And then he also said Vanilla Ice hologram. I know he's not dead, but his career is over. His career is. That'd be dope. Let's just get everyone out there in holograms.
Yeah.
Do they do a Kobe hologram? He's just going to be out there dancing, shooting balls.
No, don't disrespect Kobe like that. That's
sorry that joke crashed and burned.
I'm gonna go with no. None of them appear. If one does, going Tupac.
All right. I'm gonna go with the yes. One of those three. Total songs played during the halftime show: over 10.5 or under 10.5.
So not the entirety of the song, right? Obviously.
Yeah, and they never do an entire song.
Yeah.
Here's some stuff that could influence you.
half.
With the halftime show usually clocking in between 13 to 14 minutes with a 5 A-list artists in play, you have to figure this could be a Fast and Furious mashup / medley of songs.
So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
And the person writing this article says, my daughter, who also says to watch out for the possibility of Kendrick Lamar teasing something from his much anticipated next album, which is expected to be in 2022. I'm playing less into that. This is more about the nostalgia.
Yeah. I think
West
it
Coast
very
rap
much
scene.
is.
But that first bit that is normally 13 to 14 minutes long, you got 5 A-listers. They are going to try to jam pack in at least one banger from each of them.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a minimum 5. But Dre's got so many good ones that
I'm going
I'm going under.
I'm going under as well. There won't be enough time.
The mashup stuff makes sense for it to be more than 10.5, but I'm going to go under.
So even if they do the mashup, you think they're going to do at a minimum minute and a half a piece, right? Because you can't really get the whole mashup and get into the songs, and because what everybody's looking for probably is like the hooks of these songs, and you can't go from one hook to the next hook to the next hook. It's not going to work. I'm going under because it's 10.5.
My logic's telling me
10.
under. Okay.
Yeah.
My logic's telling me under, but I could definitely see it going over. And producer Amber says over.
Yeah. She was just telling me out there, like, God damn it, you guys are making this a full-time job out there.
Uh-huh. All right. Next new category off the halftime show. We're going to the actual game itself.
Okay.
All right. So these are stats, things like that. All right. Which team will score the first touchdown, Rams or Bengals? BetMGM has the LA Rams at -140 and Cincinnati at +100. First touchdown, not the first score.
Okay, first touchdown. I like the Bengals there, +100. Give me the better odds. This is going to be a very, very close game, in my opinion. But I'm going Bengals +100 because I want the odds.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. All right. What will be the first penalty of the game? Offensive holding, false start, defensive pass interference or holding, defensive offsides or neutral zone infraction, or roughing, which is roughing the passer or the kicker or unnecessary roughness, or the field.
What are the odds on those?
They don't have any odds listed, so I'm going to have to say that they're even.
Okay, so
Graydon is saying that the Rams are going to score first, by the way.
Okay, all right. No, he is biased. He plays on the 10U Rams team, so yeah, I agreed. False start. Whoever put that up, I 100% agree. It's going to be loud as fuck in that stadium. It's almost always one of the very first penalties of the game. You get a lot of, especially if the Bengals have the ball first, a lot of younger, not seasoned linemen with a younger quarterback going false start.
Yeah, look, if the Rams are on defense first, I think that we're going to see the Bengals with a holding first.
On Aaron Donald could possibly.
And we've got Joe Rockstar saying holding on the offense, Graydon holding on the offense.
Yeah.
Offensive holding seems to be a pretty popular choice there.
I'm still going false start. The moment will be too big for somebody.
That's a tough one. It's a toss-up for me between holding and false start. It is. I don't think it'll be a defensive penalty, though. I guess a neutral zone infraction they could be getting fired up for. I'll fucking go with the defensive offsides neutral zone infraction.
Oh,
fuck it.
All right.
Get hyped up. All right. Next, who will have a longer catch in the game? Cooper Kupp or Jamar Chase?
Oh, fuck.
All right. It is -125 for Kupp, -105 for Chase. Some more information. Cooper Kupp had 23 catches of 25 or more yards during the regular season compared to 16 such catches for Chase. But Chase almost pulled even with Kupp in catches of 40-plus yards. 8 of them for Chase, 9 for Kupp. Jamar Chase for me.
Me too, because the reason that Cooper Kupp gets those types of yardage is the rack.
Yes.
So I'm going with Jamar Chase.
Chase has a lot of rack yards as well. Graydon says Chase on this one. We also have another comment here from Nancy Carlisle, Mama Carlisle.
Mama Carlisle.
Jamar. I think it's going to be Jamar. So I actually, during that podcast I was listening to, they broke down all the longest catches between those two players. Mm-hmm. Jamar had like the first 5 longest catches, and then it was Cooper.
Yeah. Jamar Chase is a big play threat every time he gets the ball. That's why I'm going Jamar.
Yep.
And it's better odds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
-105 for Jamar Chase.
Yeah, so give me the Jamar.
All right. Will a player who is not a running back or wide receiver score a touchdown in the game? Yes or no? Not a wide receiver, not a running back. So
did you say tight end?
Tight end is option.
Oh, yeah. Give me a tight. Yeah, yes. The tight end is going to score. Tight end, we're not going to see a thick 6. I'd love a thick 6 just because we love the big boys on this show. This is the Lineman fucking lounge, but we're not going to see a thick 6, but a tight end will score.
So here's some more information. there have been a combined 20 non-running back wide receiver touchdowns by these teams in 40 combined games. 17 regular season games, 3 postseason contests for each.
So you're looking at a half. So you're looking at the over under of a half, right? So I'm going to take the over on that because
here's your breakdown: 12 total tight end touchdowns, 6 by each team. 4 quarterback touchdowns, 2 for each.
That's not
Burrow
happening.
and Stafford, with both of Stafford's coming in postseason play. 3 total defensive touchdowns, 2 of them for Cincy, 1 for the Rams, and 1 special teams touchdown, which was a punt return touchdown by the Rams. Against my Vikings.
I got a tight end scoring a touchdown in this game. I think CJ Uzama bounces back.
That's the thing, is that you've got CJ Uzama and then
Tyler Higbee's out though.
Yes.
So that's tough. So I'm betting on a CJ Uzama.
I believe there will be a touchdown by someone who's not a running back or a wide receiver, whether that's a quarterback, a tight end.
Do these teams utilize fullbacks? I don't know. I don't think they do. I haven't seen a fullback on the fucking field for these guys.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. I'm taking a tight end touchdown in this game.
All right. Well, you don't have to take a tight end touchdown. Someone other than a wide receiver.
Yeah, but they don't have fullback, so I'm not picking a thick 6. I would love to see a thick 6.
It could be a quarterback, though.
It could be. Maybe Burrow, but
Burrow could
escape.
Stafford's gotten 2 this postseason.
Yeah, but if anybody does it, I think that Burrow fucking escaping the massive pressure that Aaron Donald and Von Miller are
Think
bringing.
they put Aaron Donald in the backfield?
No, that'd be awesome.
I mean, that's a callback to the Bears with the fridge.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. McVay's going to run his offense.
I don't know.
O'Connell's going to run his offense exactly the way it's always been run.
I don't know.
Listen, when you start doing
start
doing different things,
you got an Aaron Donald watch.
The Aaron Donald touchdown watch. When you start doing different things because it's a big game is when you make mistakes. You try to do more than what you've done to get you there. That's a problem. Now, if you want to throw in a trick play,
Philly special, things like that.
Yeah,
we're getting into trick plays next.
If you want to throw in a trick play, sure, but you practice. Those have been practiced for fucking weeks, and you're just waiting for the right time to call it.
Darrell Henderson activated from the IR.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that does change my running back a little bit because Darrell Henderson I would take over Sony Michel.
Yeah. I picked the Rams, baby.
I know you did.
Well,
a combination of Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson, and they could activate him because they just put Higbee on the fucking IR.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All
Yeah,
right.
guys. We have a TV up, we got some fucking computers up, we got laptop, tablet, phones. We're tapped in as much as we can be.
Plugged in. All right. Will there be a flea flicker, a non-quarterback pass, fake punt, or onside kick during the Super Bowl? This is a yes or no question. One of those things.
Yes.
A non-quarterback pass, flea flicker, fake punt, onside kick. We have seen OBJ throw passes. Yep. I believe Kupp might have.
I don't know if Kupp did. I know I've seen OBJ throw passes.
Has Jamar thrown a pass?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm going to say yes, though.
I'm going
because
yes.
I think that it's a Super Bowl. Teams whip out the razzle dazzle. I mean, you get like the Philly special, things like that. I'm going to go with the yes.
Yeah, I'm going hard on the yes there.
All right. Will a highlight video clip of Chris Collinsworth playing in one of the Bengals' previous 2 Super Bowls be shown during the Super Bowl broadcast? Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Yeah. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth will be calling the game for NBC. Collinsworth played in Super Bowls.
Now this is not just on this is not just on one network, right? This is because all networks are not going to show the same things. Mm-hmm. Are we talking about one network?
This is in general.
Oh yeah, then yes, 100%.
Yep, I believe so. Post game, producer Carlisle, Amber Carlisle, this is your question. Which color of Gatorade will be poured on the winning coach? Orange, blue, a mix of green, yellow, or lime, clear, water, or red, pink, purple, or none?
Well, there's going to be one for sure.
So here are your odds. Orange is 200.
Okay.
Blue, 300. Green, yellow, lime is plus 450. Clear or water is plus 450. Red, pink, plus 800. Purple, plus 1,000.
Ooh.
All right. Producer Amber says Purple
Purple.
with the plus 1,000.
Plus, I mean, hey,
All right.
I taught her how to gamble. She knows odds are
So-
plus 1,000 are great.
Since 2001, orange has been dumped on the winning coach
Yeah.
5 times, the most of any color, with blue clocking in at 4th place with 3 showers. Water or clear and none have both finished tied for second at 4 apiece. I combined purple with red and pink to improve that selection's odds. That's the person.
Oh,
writing
she
stuff.
placed her bet already. I'm going orange. Going orange. I think orange is the pick there.
I actually would bet on this twice. I'd put a little bit of money on blue at plus 300, but I want that purple stuff.
You want that purple? You want those plus 1,000 odds?
Yeah. You know these boys like that purple. But I guess the Rams could have blue out there for the team. I don't know. I think it's just going to be whatever players prefer the most is what flavors are going to have out there.
Yeah, and that's really what it's going to come down to is, whatever the players prefer. I'm going orange though. Orange seems to be a popular flavor. I don't fucking know why orange sucks, but
All right. Last one here. Who will the MVP thank first? Are they going to thank their teammates, God or Jesus, their city, their coach, their owner, family, fans, or other? And other would include not thanking anyone at all, which has happened before potentially. Oh, this is the second to last one, by the way.
God. That's almost always the pick. It's God. God or Jesus.
All right.
I mean, unless there's
I don't see the coach, owner, family, maybe family, but coach, owner, I'm not seeing as much. Teammates, God, Jesus is a good one. City, I could see. I don't know the fans. I'll go with the city because specifically if the Bengals were to win,
okay, yeah.
I think that they
Yeah.
thank the city for sticking with the Bengals for so long.
Well, if Sam Hubbard is the MVP, he's thinking Harambe.
Maybe not
So
first.
Dick's out for Harambe, baby.
Yep. One that's not in here. So there are 2 left. One that's not in here. But do you think we see the Icky Shuffle?
The Icky Shuffle? No, I don't think so.
No,
No,
I think we do.
really?
Yeah, they've already done it once this year.
Okay.
I think that more than the Rams, the Bengals are pulling stuff from their heritage, and that they will make a point to do the Icky Shuffle on a touchdown, and probably the Gritty as well.
I if the Gritty is an option, the Gritty's definitely coming out. Somebody's doing the Gritty.
All right. We have comment here that the thank will be to God and then the fans. Graydon says that it's going to be family.
Okay. All right.
And then our last one on this list of bets, which leads into our regular game ones, the spread.
The spread.
All right. So right now, according to ESPN, the line is Rams -4 with an over-under of 48.5.
So I've been back and forth. Everybody knows I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm a Browns fan. Everybody knows I hate I hate OBJ. I don't hate the Rams. I wish Stafford the best. This is going to be an incredibly close game. Spread of 4 is too much. This is a 3-point game. I would love to see a 4-point game. Very specific score on the 4-point game, which I will give out to the people here in a little bit. But Bengals to cover.
So I believe that the Rams are going to win this game.
Okay.
I want the Bengals to win. I've said I like that underdog. I don't think I can go wrong with this game as far as how I'm going to feel about it, because if the Rams win, I'm going to feel good about my new head coach, I believe, and that's something I'm definitely paying attention to. I think that overall the Rams outmatch the Bengals team, though the offensive capability of the Bengals is definitely up there to be competitive. I'm taking the Bengals to cover, and I'm going to actually take the Bengals to win. I also like the over on this one because I think that this is going to be like a 36-30 game.
Yeah, because the over-under right now, 48.5 is what I got on
Yes.
FanDuel.
That's what ESPN is reporting as well, based off the Caesar Sportsbook.
Yeah, that's a definite over for me. This is going to be a high-scoring game, I think. But Bengals to cover for sure. I think if the Bengals lose, they will lose by 3. But that's not necessarily my pick.
No.
We're gonna get there, right?
Yeah. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals too. Bengals outright to win.
All right. You know the deal. Bengals money line. Stafford chalk job in the 4th.
I don't know who you know the deal is. I don't know who you know the deal is, but thank you for joining in on the show, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. We got a little bit more to do, but if you guys want to enter for a chance to win a $56 gift card,
one of your last chances. Got to subscribe to the channel.
We are about to done. You got to like, subscribe,
the
follow,
video,
and comment. Hashtag Lineman Lounge 56 in the chat, and you'll get entered in for a chance to win that $56 gift card in honor of Super Bowl 56. So I got Bengals on the cover. Where else we're on the over. Both of us on the over.
Yep.
Right? So money line. Are we ready to start getting into deep diving into some of these fucking bets and what we got going?
Sure.
All right. So you guys heard me. I believe you heard Evo as well. We're both on Bengals money line here, right?
Yep.
I think the Rams are a better team. I don't think they win this game. I think
Stafford will throw an interception that will be game changing towards the end.
100%. I am on the exact same boat. I think that Stafford will make a mistake. I think Stafford is slightly right now the more seasoned guy, but I think he will make a mistake towards the end of the game. I actually have a perfect score bet on this game. So I am on the over. 48's too small, right? So I got to go over 48.5. I'm going Bengals 28, Rams 24. Final score, Bengals win. I hit this bet. I win $6,200 because I got plus 31,000 odds on that bet.
Nice.
So going Bengals, baby.
All righty. Yeah, it's the Bengals for me. If I was just picking the spread, taking the Bengals with the spread, but I'm taking the Bengals money line as well, and I'm taking the over. My score prediction, which I haven't put in any bet for that, but at 36-30, I don't know why, just sticking in my head.
Okay.
I think it is going to be high scoring and very high scoring.
All right.
Because look, NFL loves the offense. I feel like the officiating is going to cater more towards that offense.
Yep.
You see some defensive pass interference, defensive holding, that sort of stuff. The NFL wants this to be an explosive matchup. I think it'll lean that way. You got two high-powered offenses, baby.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a little high for my blood, but I could see it being an absolutely high-scoring game. Now, 28-24 is not a low-scoring game. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fairly close. I think Rams have the ball last, a chance to go down, win this fucking game. And that's where Stafford makes his mistake.
All righty. Man, are you ready to fucking pull this name? See who wins?
I actually have a couple more bets.
Oh, fuck my carcass.
I can get you guys can get another bet right now on a nice little Super Bowl special if you're on FanDuel. And I think this is easy money, especially if you're on the Bengals. So I bet $30 on this because I feel very confident in this bet. Trey Hendrickson to record 1+ sacks. Joe Burrow, 2+ touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 1+ touchdown. $30 pays $210. So
it's not a bad one.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
So I am fully in on that. That is, to me, one of the easier specials that FanDuel is offering right now. Now they got some other ones that are real easy. Like you can get a Jamar Chase and a Cooper Kupp combined for over 200 receiving yards, but you're getting even money on your bet there. All right. Now we can go down to the bottom. Any offensive lineman to have a receiving touchdown. I don't think there's going to be a thick 6, but you can get plus 2,000 if you think there's a thick 6 coming in this game. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Cooper Kupp all have over 100 receiving yards. That's a big ask.
Yeah.
But you can get that at plus 1,400. So there are some really cool specials, special bets that FanDuel is putting out. I have not got into my Caesars bets yet, just because I'm waiting for my bets from today to settle to see how much money I can put on there. But once that does settle, I'll put it out on the social and let everybody know what I'm going with. If you are on the Caesars Sportsbook, which I know our guy, the Vanilla Gorilla, $20 is $20.
Said I haven't seen him today.
Yeah, we have not. We have not seen Dave. So, but I think with that, those are the bets that I have. We've gone through the props. Let's draw this winner.
All right. It is currently 5:25. We are stopping inputs for the winner. I'm going to draw who's going to win this gift card for Super Bowl 56 from the Lineman Lounge.
Go ahead, pull it.
Do I have one? I have one. All right. The winner of the $56 gift card is James Griffith.
Griffith, congratulations, my guy. He not somebody who's super active before, but yeah, go ahead and make sure for posterity's sake. James Griffith.
Alrighty.
$56 to Griffith. Thank you for hopping in the show. Thank you for liking, subscribing. I know he subscribed. I fucking he was at work when I got him to do it. Glad he hopped in the show and actually did that and joined us. It was a lot of fun. Man, today was a good show. Like this is going to be, this is kind of our culmination. Like when I started the show, me sitting behind a microphone, and it kind of evolved into us inside of, Hangar 6, doing the video, doing all this other stuff, and really kind of started catching some steam once we got into the NFL season. So, and this is it. This is the end of the NFL season tomorrow, and then obviously we'll continue on. We're going to have some additional
get into the next season.
Yeah,
the off season is one of my favorite fucking times of year.
Oh yeah, it's
reckless speculation left and right. Go rising and falling of draft picks. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, I love the offseason, especially as a Browns fan. But I kind of wanted to do a little celebration. We made it through the NFL season. We are ready. We're ready to celebrate Super Bowl 56 tomorrow. So I'm going to pull out some glasses. Maybe. So producer Amber got me some glasses in this very fancy box for Christmas. And we're going to have a little drink as we get ready to go off air here. Very nice little crystal glasses. Ooh. And we're going to crack open this bottle of Pendleton that I have not opened yet. This was also, little Christmas gift when we did the gift exchange.
Very nice.
Spicy Mike, not much of a drinker, but got the one part of the gift that he wanted and gave me the alcohol because I am a little bit of a drinker.
I like to have a nip every now and then.
Ice for me because I like my rocks. Ice for you?
I'll take it neat.
All right. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Everybody out there, thank you very much for all that you do, all the support that you guys give us. The interactions that we had today were fantastic. I know we were giving away some money, so that maybe played a part, but outside of that, you guys rock. We got so many people who are constantly coming back, interacting with the show, engaging on the Facebook, starting to get a little bit more on the Twitter. YouTube is getting more comments, more likes. And then, guys, we also have the TikTok. We have not been banned. We're probably going to try to put some stuff out tomorrow. Thank you guys very much. This was the Lineman Lounge, the Super Bowl Extravaganza.
Yep. Tomorrow's the big game. Yep. Torres is drunk.
Yeah,
Can't
good
fight.
for Torres.
ESL.
All right. Well, guys, thank you. Cheers. We're going to get the fuck out of here.
Have a good
Enjoy
one.
the weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl.
That's nice.
That's pretty good.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day tomorrow. And this has been the Lineman Lounge. See ya.
Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in. The show starts right now.
Over there.